Hello and welcome everybody to Pro League's Split 2. We're on Playday number 2 of Split 2, also known as Regional Playday number 6. My name is Rio and I am joined by the man, the fidget, the legend, Hyperactive. How are you doing today?
Uh, I'm doing spiffing, if that's the correct term to use for it. It's exciting as we are on to day 2 out of the 4 day of this split. And,
Mhm.
there's been some changes, upsets that
Mhm.
happened in the day 1 of the second split. Of course, we had a big roster mania that did come in. We saw a lot of teams changing things up. And of
Yeah.
course, our new team of Oni legends stepping up and trying to make their way in the groupings. But I tell you what, there's a few upsets, but most
Mhm.
noticeably, there's been a team that has shone to the max, and I'd say that Scallywags, who have come from the grave, they have been performing
Yeah.
so poorly. And I will say, so poorly in Split 1, but I am glad to say to everybody who are fans of these Twitch streamers, they
Mhm.
are finally winning matches.
Yeah, no, that's a great way to kind of lead off this day today. And you're right, like there has been a noticeable change from the Scallywags. They're a very well-known team and they've been around in the scene at basically, I want to say the longest. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong there, but they really have been around even since the breakout days. So it's really cool to see them step up. I was really kind of like heartbroken when they were stumbling a little bit. So I am happy to see and hear that they have kind of improved their game a little bit. But that is going to lead us into the very first group of today, and that's Group A. Let's take a quick look at this group because it contains the teams of Bricked, De, Dark Horse, and Make a Wish Foundation. One thing to note from the Make a Wish Foundation is that they do have a sub. So Mr. Derp, or I believe that he's known as Obese Grandma, will be subbed out by a new player. And I should have written that player's name down because I have forgotten it, but they will have a sub in there. So those are our teams. And what are your thoughts there, Hyper, about Group A?
Group A could be interesting. Dark
Yeah.
Horse from Wednesday really were stepping up, and I think they were being undermined. If I was not mistaken, yeah, they were being undermined by Scallywags quite a bit, but they were running second quite often. Fourth party were the one again that was really kind of upsetting Dark Horse's momentum as they were also battling in second for the group B. It was for them. So realistically, I feel now they've got a bit more of an opening. Dear, I did get to see the group C because I was feeling ill. But dear, I can't say anything. But the Make a Wish weren't stepping up. So realistically, I
Yeah.
see this off the bat: Bricks, Dark Horse, Dear, and Make a Wish in that order.
Yeah, I think that that is probably a good prediction. I mean, especially with Bricked being in the first place with such a commanding lead. I mean, just take a look over to the right there. Yeah, they have nearly 500 points lead, and that's impressive. And in that same group, we have a few that are a little bit down there. Dark Horse and Make a Wish Foundation, a little bit in the red, with Team Dick kind of directly in the middle there. So it'll be really interesting to see as these groups match up and how they change play. And I would really love to see somebody in the bottom, so one of these bottom two, kind of step up. I would think that this is their opportunity to kind of get up and show us what they got. I think that I would love to see an upset. Maybe this is not Brick's day, but hey, we're going to find out here shortly as we go and load into our very first match, which will be on Vegas. What are your thoughts on the Vegas? Because it is on the new version of it. What are your thoughts on the redesign there?
Yeah, we definitely have discussed about Vegas and the way
Mhm.
these now simplified colors have helped. The way that
Yeah.
the rooms are more streamlined, less obstacles in the way. Because I know last time it was very confusing of where you were going. You were literally just relying on A, B, C, D. Just literally, you were just relying
Yeah.
on that to kind of guide you through. But now it's a bit easier to navigate. It's easier to get to one place, call it out, and understand it. So this redesign has massively helped the map. It's helped with the integrity. But at the same
Yeah.
time, and I go when it comes to once we're already like a month in, there's
Mhm.
no excuses for poor performances on this map.
Ooh, that's a really strong words, and I kind of agree with you. We are 4 months in. This has been around for a bit. No, not 4 months in. Didn't we just get it 2 months ago? I feel like we're not 4 months in, but we are still very, roughly. They've had time to play on this, so it is kind of a well-known map, and it didn't change much. If you had played on it any before, I think it's really easy to pick up and learn. There's only a couple of sections that I'm just not a huge fan of. I'm not a big fan of the redesign in the Osbooz area. I think it's a little too open, but hey, that's just me. But we are getting everybody loaded into the lobby. We will get started here in just a second, but I don't know, Hyper. What are your thoughts on the kind of overall Pro Hub so far? What have you seen that you've really enjoyed? Have there been any kind of teams that have really been fun to watch? What are your thoughts as we kind of wait for the lobby
Okay,
to get
okay,
set up?
okay, okay. Yeah, like I was when you said that, in my head. I'm going. The boss is in the school. The boss is listening again. I gotta be polite. The boss is listening. No, in all fairness, it has led to some very interesting moments, and the
Yeah.
beauty of the finals is you can have guys that are dominating like Brick who are taking this dominant lead, but is so easy to slip up so slightly, and then in doing so it opens that door for another team to quickly steal under your noses, and I love that mindset, that concept that comes in. So yeah, Bricks may be the ones that are leading this, but it's so easy to snatch away, and that is what I love about this.
Yeah, you're right. We have seen teams completely kind of go from the bottom all the way up to the middle or even the top. So it is cool to see that there's a lot of opportunity for teams to grow. But you guys are tired of hearing us yap. We're going to load into this map. You see the teams up top. You see the colors. Pick a favorite team. This is your first time watching. If you have a favorite color, pick it out. Root for your team. I want to see chat rooting along for who you guys have picked to win this map as we get started on Vegas for Group A.
Well, it looks to be that Bricked and Make-A-Wish will go and battle against each other, and then Dark Horse and Team Dit will battle against each other on the opposite vault. So that's the way this is going to kick things off, but it's all going to be a bit slower. This is a style of map where you can be a bit more methodical. It's got a nice amount of layers that you can play vertically, unlike Brunel, where you play very horizontally.
Yeah, no kidding. And there is a sledge already in action on Llama. He did get hit on Arok and is able to bring them down quite a lot. But there is a team wipe already in play. We see that two teams have gone down, two are remaining. So it looks like Vault A will be, or Cash Out A will be brought to Cash Out A, and just butchering my language right now. But we're going to see Cash Out A and B get started here from the two teams that got the wipes. So we see them getting set up now. They're going to get ready as both of these teams respawn, and they're going to get ready for the next push. We see that Team Dit is moving on top of the Mega Dome. They want to try and get that vantage point. It's a really great place to be. And then we see underneath them, we see Team Dark Horse. They are kind of trying to hold control of that Cash Out. It's already about a fourth of the way done, so it is ticking down quite rapidly. Sparrow now running around with a thermal vision, trying to spot anybody out, but he is very separated from his team. It's not really a strategy I'd really like to see, but he's just going further and further. What is he trying to do here, Hyper?
It looks like he's just trying to grab information, and when you have thermal vision, that is something that I would want to see. As finally an engagement will go in, and Sparrow, well, you said why is he running away? He was able to pick off one, and now we could see how Cobra's slowly engaging forward, getting that tag, getting that damage, but again, you've got to play your timing right. You can't over-aggress, and that's exactly what Dit has slightly done as they push a little too far forward, and the machine gun of the M60 starts to come alive.
Yeah, and there is a dome shield going down from Cobra. He's trying to stay alive in this fight, buying his team as much time as you can, gets Bobo down, and there is a team wipe on Apes. This is a really commanding spot for them to be in as they get control, not even get control, hold control of this cash out. They are going to knock it over, throw some C4 on it, and set it up. Just like I said, do like that C4 skin with the old style dynamite. But we're going to move over to Vice. Viper as they make their approach. There is a sonar grenade in hand. It will give them some good information. You get 2 of them, so he's throwing his second one. They need to make it on there because this cash out B is down to the last 15 seconds or so. They need to get in there and hold it. That C4 went off and was able to get a kill. Did they all just get wiped immediately? Make a wish. What just happened?
They pushed in, and in doing so, we could see just through the wall, the Brick had it on lock. Nothing that they could do. Dark Horse, though, they are going to get team wiped. And in doing so, Team Deer able to steal the cash out last second. So it took them 3 attempts for Deer to go for the attack. Finally, it comes through. But realistically, Make-A-Wish, again, 3 attempts from their attack, but none of them successful, and only 1,000 in the bank.
Yeah, I was just about to point that out as well. Only $1,000 so far. And, you know, I hate to say it, but this is a team that's a little lower on the leaderboard, and they have a sub. So this must be a challenging time for them, but it doesn't mean that this is over. It doesn't mean that they don't have an opportunity to come back. We still have 5 minutes in this game. There's going to be at least 1 more cash out. We might even see some doubling as the strategies start to get more and more intense. Make-A-Wish is here. They are ready to grab it if they can, but there is a gateway set up by Team DIT. They're all going to go through it, and they're all going to clash right on top of each other in just a second. Sadly, Obese Grandma fell in that fight and was unable to stay with his team. They're going to have to regroup right now. There is a bounce pad. Ooh, good RPG going off from Obese Grandma, taking some good pop shots. He's trying to find that last little bit of a kill, but unable to do so as his teammate cleans it up. He's about to engage with another person right here. Throws down a dome shield, knows it. He's going for it. This is what we want to see. We want to see Make-A-Wish get a wipe, and they just did. This is great for them. They do get blocked off as they go for the cash out, but it's not going to bother them too much. They're going to drop it down if they can, demat it a little bit down, and Obese Grandma will take it. This is what we want to see. Come on, Make-A-Wish. Let's see if you can hold it together.
It's going to be a hard tell if they can do it, because you've got some big-ass names ready to cause chaos. And Team DIT, realistically, yes, they were able to get the steal, able to get it done, but ever since the qualifiers, it almost feels like they haven't been the dominant force. They've not been the team that I would be rating very high, and now they've got to really show us the split 2 that is possible, as Bricked are going to go for a little quick tap, but not a full steal just yet.
Yeah, and we move over to Busy with the minigun, holding it in. They don't go for the steal just yet. They know that everybody is around them. There it is. He's churning it up, spitting those bullets out at everybody that is downrange from him. He gets a few shots off, but is not getting any kills, and I take it back. He's able to get Aerok down. They now move towards the cash out. We've had a few people go down. Stewie J with the last person alive. He's going to go through that gateway. He's trying to hold off because they do have the cash. He spots one of them out. He gets a kill on Sparrow. Can he continue to clean up as he waits for his teammates to respawn?
Oh, he has to be. He could either go for the cheeky steal or he could go for the revive, and clearly it is going to be the revive because they need to get that. They need it to at least have a comfortable lead. Here we go. Now they have a player in play, and especially a Cerberus player to come into point, get the shotgun down, but it's not going to be working. It's going to be full domination and control. Busy left alive, but nothing could be done. Dark Horses will jump to the top for now. Final round coming in.
Yeah, here we go, and everybody just take a quick look at the scoreboard because these teams are very close together. The cash outs are very close. We're talking about, what is that, really about $7 grand between bottom to top, so that is not a big number in something that can be easily eclipsed by one team just getting a cash out. So if you are a fan of somebody in the bottom tier right now, they have every opportunity to climb their way back up really pretty easily by just getting one cash out. And there it is. Sparrow has the cash out in hand. He is ready to get it over there to cash out A and ready to go through this window. Great movement as he moves around. Really nobody near him, so he will get it started at A. Pretty uncontested, or so I thought, as he gets chased behind. Somebody's there. He's unable to get it started. Make-A-Wish were able to steal it right from underneath them, and they get a kill on top of it. But can they hold on because it's already kicking off? There's a few people here from Team DIT as well. Everybody is here. They want this cash out. One of them going down right now, and Team DIT doesn't make it. They have to regroup. They're at the bottom. They're going to have one more chance to make something happen.
brilliant surprise play, and that's just really caused a little bit of chaos as Team Deer has been wiped out. Make a wish. I gave him a little bit of, like, I wouldn't say hate, but not necessarily a confident speech behind them. They're stepping
Yes.
up in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, no kidding. They really are. It seems like they might have heard you and taken a little offense, like, we can do this. But we are going to see as we move down to the last minute and a half for these cash outs. They are running down. Cash out A halfway there. Firm control in the hands of Bricked, but they are getting spotted out by Sparrow, and Busy goes down in that fight. Sadly, they lost Cobra in it as well, but they are cleaning up. They got some nice kills. Team Bricked unable to hold their cash out, and it gets stolen right from underneath them.
Completely taken away, and that is huge. Meanwhile, the other side of the fight, we can see Variant's already been knocked down, so it's a 2v3 battle against Team Deer. We know that Sledgehammer can be powerful, but here comes that little push. It's going to be damage done by the C4, but immediately straight back on, but the shotgun coming alive, but the Sledge is doing the job it needs. Still, Variant, last one alive. He could play upset, but he's nowhere to be seen. Team Deer steals it off for the last 20 seconds.
Yep, no kidding. We are here last 20 seconds. I don't even think anybody is trying to steal. It's gonna end up... No, I take it back. There's a steal happening across the map. Are they gonna get it? I'm not sure. Everything's exploding in front of me. I've never seen so many chaos, so many people all on top of it. Looks like Dark Horse are in full control. They did get wiped, but at the end, they took it. So there is your teams. It is Team Dark Horse with the first place. Team Dit with second, I believe. Make a Wish in third, and then Bricked would be fourth. Is that right?
I think we might be right in saying that. Give us a few seconds. Let's confirm. Let's confirm. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yep, drum
Make a
roll
Wish
here.
find themselves in fourth. Brick on screen. Dark Horses will take it. And I tell you what, and this is the biggest if Team Deer had got that final elimination probably a few seconds before, they would have had enough time to take the second cash out and put themselves at top.
Oh, wow. That was a wild first map already. And I love how we clicked over and everybody was there at the other cash out. It was just person on top of other person, just diving in there, trying to get all the kills that they can. And, I love it when a map ends that way. You don't know who's going to get it until the rubble clears and you see the winner. So it's a fun way to get started on Vegas. And honestly, this has been a lot different than I expected. Sadly, Make-A-Wish did come in fourth, but it wasn't by a wide margin. They really tried. We saw them kicking things up. We saw them making things work. And, if you guys are a fan of them, it seems like they aren't fully struggling, and it's a good way of looking at it, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And Team Deer, Llama popping off the way we saw it in qualifiers, the way that Sledgehammer should be 11 and 5. 11 eliminations, 5 deaths on his behalf, and that is amazing to see. But
Yeah.
you can hear in the, I don't know if you can hear in the background. I can hear the background. Sis Horizon is up next. I feel every pro likes it because
Yes.
it is simple, it's easy, and there's sites where there's walls that you can't even touch.
I don't know if it's easy. I think maybe in the way that it's easy to learn. I think it's a very easy to kind of master map. But I think that it's actually pretty unique because it has really wide open, roads. It forces you to kind of go in and out of the building areas. And honestly, I just really think that it's a cool design. I think that it's just a neat map, a cool concept, and something that I just kind of cherish. It's very finals-esque. Nothing else kind of compares to it in my opinion. But that's not gonna matter because we're getting started. Guys, get excited. We're in map 2. This is on Sis Horizon, moving immediately to Cobra. He does get somebody in the lock bolt. They're stuck, doing a little bit of a bungee animation as he spots them out in the stairwells. He does get one, but goes down in that fight. Looks like Make-A-Wish is going to get their teammate back immediately and go for the fight in the stairwell again. Their heavy is down very low. Obese Grandma with maybe just a click of health. Really not what you want to see, but they are in a good commanding great position because they have now gotten the cash out started, or at least opened, and has their whole team there. So this is a really good position for them to be in, and you know, I'm really still rooting for them.
Yeah, I tell you what, they also, just to add insult to injury, they got Dark Horse wiped early on as they take that control, and now they can start to look over 2 points. But looks like a lot of teams are bunching up over to B, and this could be a little bit dangerous because Team Deer have all control over at A, but at B, yes, Make-A-Wish has control, but look how quickly Bricks are coming back into play. Obese Grandma down to sliver of health will finally get wiped out, but Busy has dropped from Bricks, so there is still hope as Stiggs and Viper left alive on the side of Bricks and Make-A-Wish, but the third party of Dark Horses has started to come into play as they steal it away.
So heartbreaking to see. You saw Viper was trying to stay alive there, but he got spotted out, and sadly, as a light player, it's pretty much death if you're spotted out by more than one person on the other team. So this is how it's gonna roll for a little bit as we see that Bricked and Make-A-Wish have been wiped, and now these other teams are in full control of their cash outs. So this is a great spot for Team DIT to be in, and for the Dark Horses. They also have the opportunity to set up and get ready for this next push that we're seeing right now. Here comes Make-A-Wish as they make their advance, trying to come to cash out B. I'm sorry. It is very close. It is out in the open in a very hard spot for them to have to push. They're going to have to spot somebody, take them down, and then go for the steal. But this cash out is more than halfway there. There goes the lock bolt. Ineffective. It does not hit anybody. There is the DMAT through the wall. They're trying to spot anybody out. He is just missing everybody. Sad to see, but he can't connect on these shots. There it is. He's spotted one out, and he's going for that heavy. That's Cerberus right inside his face. It's a bad place to be. Cobra goes down in that fight, but sadly so does their medium. He is going to try and get a res off from their heavy, but this fight is just slowly running out. Cash out B has maybe a fourth left on it, but there is Obese Grandma making his push with that minigun in hand. He decides to bring up that mesh shield. He's standing in front of his teammate. They're trying to block it, but oh no, the goo absolutely stops it. They were trying to steal, and they have to go for it again. They might have one more opportunity to do this, but the goo is providing them good protection. The steal is going off, and they've done it. They've gotten a wipe as well, and the steal. Well done, Make-A-Wish.
Lockbolt? It's just a little bit of an advantageous advantage. It helped them out. It was able to stay close to the point. They should have put it a little further away, but nonetheless, Make-A-Wish coming on top, feeling confident, but guess what? Bricked down at the bottom at the first phase of this game, and it starts to create that mindset of, this is not good. This is not where we want to be, and we know that they can set up and do better. As Varian is left alive, and the full team are Bricked coming in. They're going to seal it off and say goodbye to the leaders.
Yeah, Brick seemed like they had a little bit of something to settle with Make-A-Wish. They did get wiped out. Make-A-Wish is in a great position because they are at the top right now. But we move over to Llama, just getting some kills and getting some bonks off, and really able to get a nice little kill there as well. They are in control of this cash out, but they need to find somebody right now. Somebody is close on this cash out, but hey, it doesn't matter. We're going to move over to cash out Station C as it just gets started for Team Bricked. Can they hold control and get out of third place?
I love what Brick's doing. They're actually rotating off of C. They're saying, screw this. We want to go and play the offset, because right now these two sites are massively on offset. D, nearly halfway through. C, only just done its first eighth. So why not? Bricked are gonna go try and make that steal, because if they can win this point and then quickly rotate to the other, back to their original point, boom, you now have a commanding lead. So that's what they're gonna look to do.
This is going to be wild because everybody is here. Everybody is going for cash out D. Get excited because I do not know who will get in control of this. There is Obese Grandma going down. Can Busy find another victim with his minigun? I'm not sure because we're going to move over to the cash out. It's trying to be stolen out in the middle. It's going to drop. It's going to make a real challenge for anybody that wants to steal it. But it is Team Brick. Their whole team is there. They're sticking the steal. They are getting it. There's the minigun revving up. They did get pulled off, and a couple of them went down in that fight. It is Make-A-Wish in full control of this cash out. They have to control it for just about 10 more seconds. This will be a really interesting fight as they move into it. Obese Grandma goes through a gateway. They are setting up. They seem to have everybody pulling off. It seems like Make-A-Wish will very confidently take this cash out as everybody is going to start to dart towards cash out C and getting the fighting started once more.
Bricked made that risk. It didn't pay off. Now they're a player down, and they're having to rush back to the original point, which Team Deer were wiped early. So they thought, you know what? Screw this. We're not going to go back to the original fight. We're going to take the site that is open. They now have control. They've had control in its entirety. And I tell you what, Bricked aren't even going to look to contest. They know they've lost it because Busy has had to coin his way in to get back into the fight.
Yeah, and there he is. He has coined back in. He immediately gets spotted out. Throws a nice little gas canister, but not going to do anything. Trying to regroup with his team. He does find his teammates. They are getting closer together, and there is the group up. Everybody doesn't seem to want to engage in a fight just yet, as the next vaults are being moved towards the cash out. But here is Vault 5, as it's being contested by 3 different teams. They're all diving on it. Team Dead seems to be in control. There is a lockbolt going out, revving up that minigun. Can he spot anybody out? Doesn't really matter because it seems like a lot of people have just died in that fight, and it seems like Team Brick will take this all the way to B, I believe.
Looks to be or not to be? That is the question, as Shakespeare once said. But Bricked can't get this vault out very quickly because immediately Dark Horses are here, ready to pull up another fight. But so is Team Deer. They're getting involved in third-partying this situation, and down to 1. Busy left alive, and it almost feels like the teams are targeting Bricked. They know their commanding lead has to be annihilated.
You might be right, and we might be seeing some rivalries building here today because it does seem like everybody wants to make sure that Brick gets as few points as possible. But this is a steal going off from Dark Horse. They do take it and are now in a great spot to set up. On the other side of the map, we see that Make-A-Wish is in full control of their cash out, and they seem to be just be chilling. I don't think anybody wants to fight them. They are just drinking mojitos, having a good Saturday afternoon in the finals. But we move over to Sparrow as he throws a glitch grenade, brings down that Heavy's shield, and now tries to spot them out. There are a few of them that are very low for Team Bricked, and there he goes. Sparrow gets 1. Can he get the second? Sadly, he dies in that fight to Stewie J, and now he needs to stay alive or get his teammate back up. He does deal a lot of damage to Cobra, gets him down. These cash outs are ticking down very quickly. We see A is about halfway done, and B just a little bit more than that.
A smart move from Team Deer. They realized the fight over to A was too hot, and right now they have an opportunity to steal off the leaders. They know if they can hit this fight, win this battle, they can claim it as their own. Viper left alive for Make-A-Wish, and he's having to play Disruption now. As soon as that tap comes in, he has to push back and cause chaos, but the full team is there, and of no surprise, no, he's not going to go for the fight because Viper got killed by Team Deer. And this is huge from Make-A-Wish. They're technically, if Dark Horses get a few more kills, could be in a big amount of danger here.
Yeah, this is really interesting how this is playing out, especially with Brick being so far at the bottom. They need to get in control of this cash out. It is right there right now. This camera is looking weird, giving me some, I don't know, some wild camera angles, but who cares? I can't think of anything that quick. But there is Busy running up the minigun, trying to spin it up. He does get a shield down and trying to find his next person that he's going for, but it's not going to matter much because this is going to be the end of map 2, and Team D in first, Make-A-Wish in second, Dark Horse in third, and Bricked in a very sad fourth.
What is up with Bricks? That is the big storyline question we have to ask. What is up with Bricks? Because it doesn't feel like the team that we are familiar with. It's not the team that has been dominating. It has been, in a way, quite sad. Even though Stooge 11-7, really getting the kills in, and you got Busy also 7-5 amongst himself. But you look at the top, Team Deer, they're not over-aggressing, they're not having to fight too much, and And they're keeping the score, keeping their limbs low. Sorry, I just got a notification about a completely different game, and I'm shocked at what I just read. What the hell? Sorry,
Well,
I got distracted there.
anyway, so yeah, that is a really interesting map that we just saw. I think that you had an interesting observation in there that it seemed like everybody was kind of ganging up on Bricked. They didn't want them to get any more points in there. And I do think you're right. I think that's what we're seeing. And it's kind of wild because I've been casting every match but one of these series so far. And I don't think I've seen that. I've never seen it to this level, at least. I've seen it sometimes at the end where, they want to stack the cash outs and then maybe make things a little wild, but I've never seen it where it seems like everybody in the lobby has a vengeance against one team. So it's really kind of making it hard for Bricked, and I hope that they're able to kind of find their footing because they're number one and they're not performing like they're number one. I mean, for the reasons we just said, but still, it's really kind of an interesting setup so far.
The counter argument you can say is it is an off day. Like you have to remember,
Yeah.
we still have more day. We have another 2 days to come through. From that, they can bounce back, get the wins that they were doing before, or at least maintain. They have, as we mentioned, a 500 point advantage, which would mean them not scoring for 5 games straight, which is not physically possible,
Yeah.
because you get points for kills and 10 points for being in dead last. So there is a way they can maintain and manage. And for one day, if they're not
Mhm.
performing, I'm not stressed. I'm not worried. But it would mean that, for them to sit down, review the VODs, and learn what went wrong.
Yeah, yeah, and maybe find a strategy for when something like this is happening. Do you maybe go for, all right, I want to now double all these cash outs. If everybody wants to fight us, let's make it where everybody fights the entire time. That's what I would do. I would just try and change up, make something just a little bit different. But yeah, I am not sure how it's going to play out. I think the interesting point there is that Make a Wish actually came in second, so maybe a little bit of a step up. They seem to like people not be going for them multiple times in that fight. They just had control of the cash out. They were letting it just run down. Like I said, sipping mojitos, having a good Saturday. So I'm not sure what happened there, but interesting to see.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and it always is helpful when you have opportunities where no one's attacking you. You
Yeah,
can you can reset and you can sit down, but I think as well. I want to quickly go back to Brick one last time because there's one
sure.
key move that I saw, and that was the second attack. So the second cash out round of cash outs we had, they took the risk because they saw the offset, and I fully
Mm,
understand when there's an offset, you go and attack the one with the most done. Play that risk, go and
yeah.
try and take it. But the offset was only about five, no, 3/8
Hmm.
of an offset.
Yeah.
So just over a quarter. That to me, I wouldn't even say is enough. I probably would want to see a complete half of an offset, so then you still have half the time to go and attack. Because there was such short
Interesting.
amount of time, 3/8 of the time remaining,
Yeah.
you run the risk of losing it, and that's how Team Deer stole it off, claimed the advantage, and able to put themselves on top.
Yeah, no, you're right, and that was a very interesting thing to see in a map like that. But we're gonna get started on the next one. This is map number 3. Let's see how it all plays out as we get started on Fortune Stadium, one of my favorite maps and one that I have not seen these teams play on just yet today. So this should be quite exciting as they get started. There is Llama with the sledgehammer in hand. If he gets some kills, I want to see some bonks in the chat. They are getting one kill already from Team Dit. Then a wipe already for Make a Wish. Not sure what happened there, but we move over to Busy as he spots Eric out and just deletes him with that minigun. They are going to get the tap on Vault 1 and set them up in a good position as Team Bricked brings their teammate back up and gets ready to bring this to the first cash out. Probably D or B would be the best spot to be. It's a really good and powerful one, but there is a minigun just raining hellfire from above. Everybody wants to go to cash out B, as I said, because it is a great spot to be. There is Team Dip just getting annihilated in that push. I think they got really caught out there and not what you want to see at the start.
You know what's crazy? Even though Make a Wish got wiped early on, they have possession of Vault 1, and they're now going to send this to A. So all that fighting just for control over to what we call as Sector 6 of this map, they are that has caused a lot of chaos. That has caused too much instability that now opens up the door, allows now Make-A-Wish to have an easier time. Well, as easy as it can be, because Dark Horses are over it on their side. And, well, we know they like a good fight.
Yeah, we move over immediately, and this is Make-A-Wish. Viper has been a very strong player today. Can he keep it going? They are in control of this cash out, and I don't see anybody pushing them just yet. It could be that they are just waiting and somebody is close. On the other side of things, it does look like everybody is getting damaged quite a bit, but there it is. It seems like Dark Horse is here. They want this fight to happen. Looks like a pyro grenade went off on cash out A. This will stall it for just a little bit as one person from Dark Horse tries to go for the steal. They have to get pulled off of it, or we move over to Sparrow's viewpoint. He does have that glitch grenade in hand. It didn't connect. He throws another one. That one did, and it is going to bring Obese's grandma down, his miss shield down. He spots him out, and that is a great kill. This is the way that you want to be, but there are still two people up on Make-A-Wish. They need to find their footing. They need to keep control of this cash out. This is the steal. It's going off right now. Can they get in there? They're diving on there. They drop it down. There is a gravity vortex that went off, but they lost it in that fight. Sadly, they're going to have to steal it back. I think I saw a bounce pad in there as well, and sent it kind of moving all over in just chaos. This will be interesting how they regroup and go for this next fight.
Varian still down, and he's going to have to coin his way in. Oh no, I think he actually was lucky enough to get revived, but it does add that final bit of pressure as the one last push starts to come in. And no, I am mistaken. No push coming in. Instead, they're going to try and go to the offset of A, try and push over, try and get that last steal. As all four teams are over at this point, the explosion comes through. They're trying to knock this cash out over to the outside and push it onto the bridge, but no one will steal it. Dark Horses, decent steal and a great hold afterwards.
Yeah, that was really interesting to see as they were able to get in there, take it, and then the whole gravity vortex went off. They're still getting pushed by one person on Bricked, but there they go. It looks like Stu goes down in that fight. He just had to chase him. It was the thing to do, really. You want to go down in a fight like that. We're going to move over to Obese Grandma and Make-A-Wish as they are down at the bottom, but not by too much. They're just $500 less than the team in second, which would be Team Dip. Team Dip is in control of the vault. They did tap it, but now Make-A-Wish is here. I think that they're going to be in next taking it and getting in control as they take the God Zip, and we see the RPG being reloaded, and I think the vault might have even dropped. No, it got taken back out, and they're going to make it and move it over to Cash Out C.
The quick movement. Even to this day, I look at the way that these teams move, and it still makes me go, wow. Probably because I am terrible as, goodbye, you're not taking the zip line, says Busy as he takes away the only thing that was pushing them up, and a very quick reaction gives another life for Bricked, and Team Dare. We know the dangers once you bring the team to CQB. Oh, that's a danger zone because Llama, oh, he's a darling with those with that sledgehammer.
Yes, indeed. And we're going to see Llama in action here one more time. They are climbing on top. This is a great vantage point to be. They do demat it down. They spot them out in the stairwell. This is a great kill on Busy. He throws some goo, buys himself a little bit of time. There's an RPG in his hand. He's ready to get a kill. There's a great shot. He gets one of their lights down to half health, but he's down to 13 health himself. He needs to stay alive for just long enough that he gets his res off. He's going to grab his teammate, bring him into the stairwell, get the res off, and this is a great spot to be in, but sadly he gets spotted out and just goes down by Sparrow, gets caught in his crosshairs. Team Dit will have to reset and go for the next fight. Moving over to Cobra, he is in the stairwell as well as Team Bricks seem fighting for vengeance. They want to get some kills. They want to keep in control, and there it is. There's Busy with the minigun, just raining death onto anybody in his crosshairs. Crazy to see. Team Brick seems to finally have this in control.
They finally do, but not without a third party that nearly upset them. Dark Horses came over and basically took advantage of Team Dick, got the extra kill, the extra point on their side. But realistically, even from the brink of death, when it was just less distinct, It looked dangerous. It looked extremely dangerous. But a quick move around as Llama is trying to get the whole point move. But now the Sledgehammer doing damage. But the minigun is just shredding. Busy doing what Blizzard does. And another wipe coming in.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mess with Team Brick. This is obviously their map. They are here. They are in control. They are about to add $12,000 to that first place. Yeah, brings it to 36-5. This is a very commanding lead with 2 minutes left. And let's look at the other side of it where Team Did, which has had some pretty good performances. They're all the way at the bottom with only 8K. So they need to make some changes, make something happen, maybe do a little bit of teamwork or a little bit of team motivation. I'm not sure what they're gonna do, but Vault 5 has been tapped by Make-A-Wish, who is in second place right now. There's a gateway going off. They're gonna take that all the way to, I believe, A, because it's pretty close. This will get us started. No, they took it to B. I guess B and A are close. They are. They're 65 meters away from each other, which means that this will be a really interesting fight for the last two vaults because both teams are right next to each other. We are going to see that stagger again, and as we said, Vault 6 has been tapped. Everybody's over there. It seems like B is going to be left alone for a little bit, but here is Team Dit as they're making their approach on top of Dark Horse.
Honestly, I would go and push to kind of push to the offices, to the opposite side of the office. Go to that open construction area, and then push your way onto B. You want to stack at this point. You want to make sure that you have maximum amount of money because Team D, they can still steal first here. There is enough money in play that they can do it, but with a minute on the clock to put it in, you want to put it in, and they're looking to put this in A. They want to split it. I don't understand why. A is not the route. This is not the option you want to do. Why have they done it? You've just screwed yourself over.
Well, you know, it all does come down to points, so they're not going for a first place. They're going to try and just get anything, maybe get into second or third and just kind of get out of fourth. But there is spawns going down in that brick, going for another 18K as Make-A-Wish is going for the next one as well. It does look like bricked, at least one person is over there trying to make themselves a little bit more challenging for Make-A-Wish. We are going to see probably everybody dive on to this point. This cash out is running down to its last fourth. I'm not sure who's going to take it, but this is going to be one hell of a fight.
It really is, as finally we get the engagement coming in. Make-A-Wish, who have control at this point, is now going to get pushed by Bricked as well. They're getting greedy. They really want a comfortable win as the steal starts coming in. Does get dropped down. The D-map being helpful and powerful, but it's Dark Horses who have found their way onto point, but no, it's not done just yet. The denial and the pressure keeps coming in. Bricked is not too far away. They could cause even more of an upset if they really want to, but no, not going to happen. Dark Horses will take it. Now Bricked looking for damage, looking for kills, extra points that can happen on their side. Over to A, Team D looking to steal. They would be looking to take third if they could pull it off.
Yeah, this is going to be wild. They are in control of this cash out. Everybody is going to be here. We see Bricked is here. As I mentioned, they were just 65 meters away from each other. There is Spawns getting some great shots off with the 93R. He is one of the only people in this league that uses it, so it's always cool to see. Nice little glitch grenade. Great arc on there. Brings down the mesh shield of the heavy player on Team Bricked, but it's not going to matter because there is the D-mat down to the bounce pad, and cash out A bounces like a kid on a trampoline and they get the cash. Let's look at those totals because honestly it's quite wild from what I saw at the very last few seconds how close that spread was from first, second, and third.
It was absolutely nuts. Again, another risk by Bricked, and I feel there's too much happening from them. I know they've won, and people in the chat are going to be like, hang on a minute. Why are you complaining about a team that just won? No, I'm complaining is because you look at the money, 44,000 to 34,000. That's a 10,000 cash difference.
Yeah.
That they sacrificed their point. They sacrificed the original position, okay? And they didn't claim anything. So they're 44. 25, 29 plus 18 would mean that the Make-A-Wish could have, if they had not lost their point, could have overtaken. And that first place would have disappeared. It's too many risks. Thankfully, it paid off because Dark Horses got that win, because they were smart enough to take advantage of the damaged teams. But it's too much overthinking, too much trying to play with offsets. The whole idea of being in first and having more money is just going out the window here.
Yeah, yeah, this was a wild matchup. Everybody was kind of performing in such a different manner than we had seen from the past three, but just kind of just really interesting. And I think you're right that they made some kind of bad choices that didn't work out for them. And then I also want to go back to the scoreboard because if we look at Make a Wish, we saw that obese grandma had 0 kills. He only had like 1,400 damage as well, so that's pretty rough. Like I hate to like single anybody out, but like it's a team game, and if you're not even doing 2,000 damage, you're not just getting damage to your team. You're just kind of dying, and then you're kind of a liability for your team. So I don't know. It's weird to see a team that has such a wild performance, like somebody that seems to be like, oh my god, they're coming back, to like, oh my god, what did you just do? It's just interesting to see. Maybe they can find a little bit more maturity as they continue to play.
Yeah, and to be honest, Rio, don't be ashamed to call out donuts. Any donut in any game is
Mm.
shameful, and it should not happen unless it's a positive donut and it's on the death counter. Yeah, I'm not going to remind myself. And the first thing that popped to my head was the annihilation that happened in Halo, and when I was coaching. Watching my team get completely screwed, and then the opposition had one player who not died. That hurts. That hurts.
Interesting.
So
But we're going to get loaded into map number 4. This will be it for Group A. I am not sure how this is all going to shake up, but it will be very exciting to move into this last map and see what happens. This will be, yeah, the end for this group. I still don't know the map that we're on just yet, but we're going to find out here in just a second, and it looks like Skyway Stadium.
Beautiful map. Absolutely beautiful. Their third, I think it was the third ever map made by Embark, if I'm not mistaken.
I
think
you
so.
might be right. Yeah.
Yes. And you know what? I'm confident that I am right. Third map ever created, and in doing so, we're going to see the first battles being Team Deer versus Dark Horses, and then on the opposite side, Make a Wish, as we are watching here, versus Bricked. And already we've seen Arok losing his life early on the other side battle. Meanwhile, over on the Make a Wish Bricked battle, a little stalemate. The vault has been opened, so rotation could come through if they want to get out and dip. But no, we're going for a fight early on, and the Lox is coming in. The Cerberus started to do its damage.
Yep, there's Obese Grandma going down, and he's trying to find Viper with that Cerberus, and it did get a little bit of damage on him, but Busy was able to clean it up with the minigun. That Cerberus does have a little bit of fall off. I shouldn't say a little bit, quite a lot of fall off, because it is made to be an in-your-face kind of weapon, but this is a good spot for Brick to be in. They got a wipe. They're going to bring it over to this cash out, and this cash out is a great spot to be, but Team Dit is here. They're ready to get on them. One of them goes down. Llama gets a bonk, and there's another one. He gets the second kill. Can they get this third one? He is the last person remaining. Their light player on Team Brick. He is now dashing away, trying to stay alive, but there's Stu as he goes down. Very good play from Team Dit. They were ready to ambush, and they're going to take control of this cash out.
Beautiful work in Team Deer again, going against everything that I've been saying, how they've been quite poor. But Eric, get that shotgun in his face. Let's jump in and have some fun. He's even gonna follow and chase through the gateway. That's risky, but he pulls it off. Eric is an animal, an absolute animal with the shotgun, and just like that, Make a Wish are gone. They're out of the server.
Yes, they are, and you know what? They're gonna get that steal off as well, and Make a Wish was only 2k. Not a good spot to be in at the start of this match, but we're gonna move over to, I think, B, or not. I'm not sure where we are right now, because we're kind of in the middle of two cash outs as they are kind of finding their place. Team Brick seemed to slow down. I'm not really sure what he's doing right now. Maybe just waiting for his team, getting some comms, finding some communication with the team is key as you start to push into this cash out. Brick really needs to get control of this because they are only sitting with 4,000. This is a great opportunity for them to get into the top, as we've seen them do pretty much in every map today, except for one. So let's see if this will be a repeat. They go for the steal. They're forcing Team Dev to dive onto this point. They are unable to stick the steal. They do get caught out. There is Stu with going down to very low health, having to regroup, throws that gateway, goes through it to bring himself right back to it, but gonna go through it again potentially, but decides to go off of it. This cash out is just ticking down. They're gonna have one more opportunity to do this. Another person from Team Div goes down, and they are trying to find this next kill. There is the steal. They have to stick it. If they get pulled off of this, they won't be able to get it, and they do. They get off of it, but can he hold it? I don't think that Team Brick have enough time, and they don't. And this cash out will go to Team Div.
Brilliant work, Team Dead, just waiting patiently, and then when this trap was sprung, they didn't overcommit. You saw Llama originally jump down, he went for the swings, and then very quickly ducked back inside because they were too far away, too open. And this is that smart play we see. They've been playing with that sledge for so long. They know when, where, and how to utilize it at the best of its abilities. So hats off to them as they take full control of Sparrow. Did he just go full-blown FaZe Clan? Let's DPI up to max.
Okay, yep, I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe he's just having some fun and doing some spinning ballerina moves on that zip line. Maybe we'll find out one day. I'll have to ask him. But there he is. Sparrow has spotted out his other team. Team Bricked is there from across. I think he's having a little bit of lag, honestly, because his movement looks a little jittery. But we're going to move off of him as Bricked is holding control of Cash Out C. And it looks like there is the start of Cash Out D as well.
No offset, so but this would be a 2-on-2 fight, and you have to look in that manner as finally we get the respawn and Make-A-Wish. They're going to look to go and fight onto C. But we're watching what should be an interesting battle as the DMAT will drop, and this will draw some players in. Why don't we get some battles going as we see Sparrow falling down from the Dark Horses and Team Deer opening up the doors. Sledgehammer can't hit its target, but that's all right. Don't worry. The rest of the team's got it done, and that is going to be control again for Team Deer.
And I love that every once in a while the camera like gets a little offset, and you can see that it's slightly at this like Stanley Kubrick kind of angle, you know, something a little wider, and yeah, just kind of interesting little footnote for somebody that watches a lot of the finals, just something fun to see. But there is that minigun spinning it up as Make-A-Wish try and get some kills, get really anything on the board. Only 5k, they seem to be struggling. There is a nice glitch grenade that brings down the mesh shield from Busy, but sadly, Make-A-Wish got stuck in a corner and their wishes were denied. They're not going to get any kills there as we move over to Sparrow on Team Dark Horse as he spots somebody out on the crane. They need to bring him down in some really interesting use of goo that's kind of created a little goo fortress on top of the crane. I love the creativity. I love goo, and it's quite a fun thing to see because they are really struggling to bring him down as they spot another person out in the stairwell. They're diving around, and Sparrow's the last person remaining. This is not what you want to be as he gets bonked by a llama. Llama with 2 kills. 2 bonks. I want to see a bonk in the chat because he earned that. And Obese Grandma's going to dive off of this crane. They're going to go for this cash out as well. And this is going to be quite wild because this cash out is down to just its last little sliver of maybe 15 seconds. There is the DMAT. It falls onto a bounce pad. There's a gravity vortex as well, or gravity well. Everybody's just dying inside of it. And there is a nice little team wipe as well coming up. Maybe not. There it is. Yep. Finally going down. Wild fight, wild way to see these teams get into it.
Well, Team Deer just got handed a handful of extra points as they're currently sitting with 19 points just by kills alone. So 19 kills on this team. We might be looking to try and set some records. I'd have to go through the archives to tell you exactly what the records are for per game. And I know it's somewhere in like the 30-40s manner. That was done during the open beta era, if I remember rightly.
I think you might be right. It's been a while as this game matures, as we're into what, like a year and a half almost? We're getting up there. Yeah, it's wild, but oh, are we gonna see a double? Because I think that they are bringing this over. We are.
You have
This
to.
vault is being brought over to it. This is what I want to see. They still could bring it to B, but everybody is here. Team Brick, did they just yoink it away? They did. They were like, nope, yeet this across the map. They don't want it stacked. They want to be able to take first without giving somebody in last the opportunity to take it and go all the way up there. They are going to try and retrieve it, make a wish. This is their only opportunity to make something happen. They do retrieve
They're,
it, and
they're
here is
bringing it
the
back.
vault. The vault is back. Can Make a Wish get this plugged? We're going to find out in just a second.
Put it in. Why not? Here we go. It's going to be max amount of attack, maximum effort, ladies and gentlemen, as all four teams now look on to A. This is going to be a matter of who has the endurance to keep on going. As we can already see, the Dark Horses have been wiped off the map as Team D continues to add to their point streaks. On the top, you can see from Brit, as they have that upper control, they are waiting for more fights to unfold. The same with Make-A-Wish. They are just squaring each other up, but finally, the control of the roof will start to unfold, and slowly but surely, we see Obese Grandma falling to the ground as they back away. Make-A-Wish, not ready for the fight.
Yeah, Make a Wish better start praying because they need to have something change. This cash out for 36K is exactly what they need. It would bring them all the way from last to first, but this is going to be it. Everybody is here. The miniguns are revving up. There's Obese Grandma getting a kill, getting the other minigun down, but Dark Horse is here. They just want to climb on top of this. A steal is going down. Cobra, can you hold it? His team is there, and he can because everybody else in the entire map is dead, and they're gonna take it. And look at the celebration on their faces. They're excited, they're loving it. That was quite one heck of a steal and really takes the win for them in that match.
What I love from Dark Horses on that final battle, they weren't involved. They stayed out of the fight until the bitter sweet end. They allowed Brick and Make-A-Wish to fight on the roofs. Team Dit were amongst and inside the building, which once the fight at the top and Make-A-Wish were eliminated, Brick then started to drop down because Team Dit recognized it, started to get that steal to come in play. Brick drop, they go for the fight, they wipe out Dit. Then you're now left with Dark Horses who've been sitting on the edge, watching it all unfold, quickly go, you know what? Thank you, boys. You're all low on health. Let's go and steal it off them. So hats off to Dark Horses.
Yeah.
Patience wins fights, and that's exactly what happened today.
I think you really hit on a good point that patience does seem to win fights. With some of these overly aggressive teams just kind of make little mistakes that just kind of snowball on them and don't leave the opportunities. So this is such a wild game where it's chaos and everything, and it all does come down to a timer. So if you're able to buy as much time as you can when you're holding it versus, just like making sure that you have enough time for a push, it's just interesting to see. And yeah, I do want to go back to Make a Wish because this is their fourth map, and I think somebody on that list had 0 kills again. It wasn't
Viper.
Obese Grandma. It was Viper. Oh man, he had such a good performance in some of these other maps. I'm honestly shocked to see it.
It's unfortunate, but donuts are going to happen, and
It's rare
the
though. It's really rare in this
it's
league. Like,
in this league, yeah, but you'd be surprised how often donuts do come out in not only the finals, but in a lot of games. And one
yeah.
thing I noticed from Make a Wish is they're being aggressive, but they're hesitating when they do it. They start
Mm,
that attack and they go for the first shots. And I'll just take again the last piece of play, breaking down them against Bricked. They were the first ones to pull the trigger. They were the first ones to
mm.
start that engagement. And what did they do? They pushed slightly forward and then they retreated. And Brick just went, all right, okay, you just pushed into our lines, almost like a geopolitical war. You stepped over the borders. We're gonna absolutely wipe you out. That's the mentality they need to have is once you commit, commit. Don't
Yeah.
back out and don't back away.
Yep. Really well said. And honestly, so that's going to be the end of Group A. They have gone through 4 matches. We're getting the totals all tallied up right now, and we're going to see how everybody kind of moved through that leaderboard. But yeah, Group A, what a fun way of starting today's matches because this was a great team. I loved that it wasn't the same every round. It wasn't one team that was just dominating. It was every team felt like they had their opportunity, maybe even their time to shine, even with Make a Wish, because they came in second one map and it wasn't too far off from first. So I don't know. I really enjoy a group like this when there's that cohesion, just kind of like they all had their moment to shine. I want to say so. Just a yeah, really fun way to start today.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we still have more to go because up next we'll be seeing 200 MS, Ape Squad, Blowers, and Scallywags facing up in Group B. So stay tuned. We'll be back for more.
This isn't just a game. This is TNT. Welcome to the jungle and welcome to Ape Squad's Thursday Night Throwdown.
Featuring the game's top talent, pick up games where chimps become champions.
Thursday nights 8 to 10 p.m. every week, only on Ape Squad. Catch us live on air on Twitch at twitch.tv/ApeSquadOrg.
In the world of sports, every second counts. Every move matters. That's where a Spooze comes in, the sports beverage designed for champions. With a Spooze, it's simple as pop, pour, perform. Packed with electrolytes and essential nutrients to keep you hydrated and energized, Ospoos is your go-to drink for peak performance. Whether you're just carrying the vault or securing the winning cash out, Ospoos is there to fuel your victory. Its unique formula is scientifically designed to boost your stamina and focus. Ospoos, for those who dare to excel. Pop, pour, perform.
It's showtime!
The real world can be unfriendly, misleading, confusing. But your world doesn't have to be. Reality Shield will protect you, cutting out the noise, making the world perfect. We do not censor. We cultivate. Engimo.
That strange thought you just had, where did it come from? And was it even yours? Our new Series 2000 effectively suppresses third-party influence and eccentricity, outperforming our competitors within the standard deviation of conformity. With the Series 2000, your mind stays in control. Via, we as one.
The life giver, the sun, always on, the source of everything that is good. But can it be trusted? Holtau's Sun Insurance will have you covered if the unimaginable happens and the light goes out. Holtau, brighter than ever.
You know, June, every time I think I've seen it all, the finals proves me wrong. What a play!
That's one for the highlight reel, Scotty.
The next chapter in this epic saga is about to unfold.
The stars. Distant. Watching. When will they arrive? Will your family be disintegrated first or last? Will your family dog become their leader? With Holtau's alien invasion insurance, you don't have to worry. Alto, we got your back.
Absorbe ce que c'est. Monde, monde, pour misérable et fortuné. Absorbe. Ce que tu désires devenir, c'est ce que tu es. Alors, absorbe, absorbe.
Okay.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting to Group B. And I tell you what, it's going to be a matchup. But before we get into there, we have a very small message you'd like to share.
Yes, we want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Crash, who is the Via PR Chief Officer. And yeah, just want somebody that has really helped out in the whole Pro League. So if you want to show him some love, there's his Twitch stream, and I'm sure that there will be some links in the chat as well. So thank you again to our sponsors. And we've got a few more sponsors down at the bottom. If you guys feel so kind and want to donate to this prize pool, I think we're at $1,850 so far, which is just wild. That's a good chunk of cash.
That's actually pretty impressive for a season 0, the first ever season for it. You know, with and we're gonna be straight with no funding elsewhere, no devs, no actual physical branding. It is very impressive. So hats off to the production team behind that and the staff behind it and everyone else. But let's get into the most important bit. Who's leading right now? Bricked is extending their lead. Team Dit will jump up the board, but everything here. Let's be real. This is provisional until we get to the end of C. It is provisional because we still have 4 other teams to face up against each other. 4 of them are on your screen. 200 MS, Ape Squad, Blowers, and Scallywags all face each other.
Yeah, this is going to be a wild matchup, especially because the Scallywags in 200 milliseconds are pretty low in that leaderboard, and then Ape Squads and the Blowers are right there in the middle. So this is kind of your lower bracket group, but all of them have the potential to gain a ton of points today, and somebody has the potential of coming back. Like you mentioned earlier at the start of the stream, that the Scallywags have come back in the last Playday. They really were struggling, but they seem to have found their footing. So if you're rooting for a team or kind of want to root for the underdog, they seem to be picking up. And I think that this is really going to be quite a wild group. And yeah, what are your thoughts on this setup?
I think it could be quite interesting. Again, I want to see this new Scallywags roster really step up and take take everything at storm. Again, I want to see 200 MS step up. We've seen again through the qualifiers, they are a capable team that really can shine, but they have had so many impasses, so many problems in every game that they have been in that it's almost a disappointment. So fingers crossed. Meanwhile, Blowers and Apes, good mid teams. What else can you say? It should be interesting. It's the battle of the mid.
All right, everybody, we are getting started on Las Vegas, the redesign. You see the teams up top Find your favorite team or find your favorite color and root along. If this is your first time watching, you've got some great teams to be excited for. But here we go. There are the Scallywags as they tap Vault 1. They're immediately caught out by the Blowers. They dive right on top of them as Normalize tries to spot them going around. He is with his team grouping back up. There's that minigun being spun up. They all take the bounce pad. Normalize wants to get out of there. He has a nice little gateway. Gonna bring everybody back and they're gonna come through. This is a great way of grouping your team back up. They take control of this vault and they're gonna bring it and get set up at Cash Out B.
Smart. Get out. Don't bother with the fighting. They knew who they were up against and how much they have been progressing well. So let's go and put it in and have the fight at the point and run down the clock. So playing time rather than playing for the fight. Yes, okay, you're not going to get points, but that's fine for them.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This is going to be a great push. They are here. This is the Scallywags. This is the team we talked about. We kind of built up just a little bit. Let's see if they can perform. Wally with the Cerberus in hand. There is that C4 that goes off. It was to drop it, but it did not go down. A little bit of unique architecture, but there is the DMAT and forces their heavy to drop down there. The fight is going off, and they are all on top of each other. There is Wally as he chases Belize as he tries to follow his teammate. There is a DMAT in the ceiling, but it got closed off and forces them to go in it again. Wally trying to spot somebody out as he continues the fight.
Yeah, this is really upsetting Scallywags because Gremlin's on the floor. He can't do anything right now, and a revive will be able to come through. But all this time, the clock has been going through, and a kill just can't go through. Finally, it will. Gets traded off. Basil and Zukif dropping to the floor. Now Zukif back up, and very quickly, both teams back to full strength. It's stalemate. None of them could get any progression coming through, but guess what? And this is the biggest guess what? 200 MS are here for the third party.
Yeah, they're here right now, and Belize is just deleting people with his SA shotgun, but he goes down in that fight, moving over to Ethanol. He is spinning up that minigun, but sadly his teammate blocked a lot of those shots, and he didn't get anybody off, and he goes down to Grudy. They are going to find another kill from 200 milliseconds. Can they stay alive? I don't think so. One of them went down, as it looks like the Blowers are struggling just a little bit. Their cash out is being stolen right from underneath them. There it goes. They're not going to have enough time to get that steal back again. Cash Out B is almost done as well. Everybody diving on top of it, but the time is running out, and it seems to be in full control of 200 milliseconds as we watch this building just crumble right in front of us.
That's crazy. Third party from 200 MS just goes, yeah, okay, we're just going to come in and take it off you. So hats off to them. Third party working out the way it is. But there is a reasonable offset here. We are going to see a lot of attention looking over to A as there's only a quarter of the time left. Glitch Grenade is going to come through, but a steal couldn't happen as Ape Squad's able to drop it down and defend their own site. They've been sitting with lawn chairs up. They haven't been doing too much here. And now everybody is coming to apply the pressure.
Yep, Rippy with that mesh shield up. He does go down in that fight, bringing his mesh shield down. He's running over to it. The steal is going off. There is another mesh shield holding it, and it does look like the Scallywags were able to get it and hold it right at the very end. This is a great spot for them to be in as we look at their last player trying to stay alive, but everybody is here. It is Shotgun City and SMG City as Gremlin gets Rippy out from that, but Gremlin now is spotted out. Is he going to go down? He grabs his teammate as everybody goes for a nice little reset. They will kind of clash immediately, I think, as they know that they're right on top of each other. This is exactly what I thought. There's BMO as he gets spotted out, gets down to just 40 HP, trying to dive in between that rubble, gets spotted out by the Scallywags and goes down. Can they get these next two kills? There he is, pushing in on Rippy. Rippy goes down by Gremlin and sadly gets the return kill. This is a back and forth like one I haven't seen in a while, but finally a team wipe. Sad to see on Ape Squad.
And you know what this has done? This is again allowed more of an offset. This is really forced the D cash out to progress through. We're already a quarter of the way through and the vault hasn't been opened before. This is huge. This is tactical gameplay, but in this situation, it's tactical for everyone bar 200 bar the Blowers and Scallywags, as they've been fighting against each other. Meanwhile, the Blowers, 200 MS, sorry, Ape Squad at 200 MS, they're vibing. absolutely vibing. Okay, admittedly not Ape Squad. They're fighting. They're trying to break this 200 MS spirit.
Yeah, Ape Squad are the people to watch because they have the most to gain from this if they're able to come back. They seem to be a little bit struggling, but it is not over because we still have 3 minutes plus of this match. Moving over to BMO as he has a gateway in hand. This will get him to a better vantage point where he can kind of see, but sadly he immediately gets spotted out and it's going to have to force him to find a new position. He is getting chased, it sounds like, by that minigun, but he has the little dashes that help him get away. It seems like everybody is here. Cash Out D did just get thrown out into the middle of the street. Sadly, BMO goes down in that fight, unable to stand against the M60, but everybody is here again. I'm wondering if they're going to clash on D or if this is going to continue in any other way.
Yeah, it looks to be a clashing onto D as a lot of the teams have pushed over. 200 MS are keeping their pressure going. They will take out Ape Squad. And they all have full control. You could see, I'm looking at a sky map and I can see that Blowers and Scallywags, they're not rotating. They're staying close to C. They understand that the offset, yes, is big enough that they can keep the pressure going, but they also know that very quickly 200 MS are going to push right back on top of them.
Yep, here he is, the last one of the Blowers trying to stay alive, but that's not a position you want to be in with just a minigun. Here is 200 milliseconds as they go for the steal on C, but it looks like C4 or something brought it down and dropped it down below. There is a nice little goo wall set up for them. They're holding it, they're sticking it. Can they get it? They're able to get it. 200 milliseconds now in control of this cash out, but sadly the Scallywags are here. They're ready to go for the steal again. They need to stick it. This is gonna be make or break for them. Nobody is able to stop them just yet. He's running in there, but did he get it? Oh my God, the Scallywags, what are you doing? Good job, last second steal, and they did get wiped, but that's what you want to see.
That is so unfortunate as Brams was trying his absolute best to try and get the denial to go in. It just did not happen. Just a little too late, and yeah, chat, I agree. 0.1 probably, 0.1.
Well, that is the second 0.1 second steal that we've seen. It's just wild. I love it. This is a really fun group. I was saying that about the first one, but I'm more impressed by this one already. And it's only map 1. We're not even done with it, but we're moving over to Wolf as he does get spotted out, but his teammates were great in getting that DMAT and putting them into a different spot. He goes off right behind him, and they're going to allow them to set up. They are in a great position right now with 32.5 in cash and just a little under 2 minutes left. This will be great to see how they're able to hold control or not.
It will be indeed very interesting because right now 1 point is enough for the third place team to jump to first. For the Blowers, they have control and they're happy, so no surprise we are going to see a split. We're going to see Ape Squad also trying to get their way through because they're not too far away. They are not too far away that they too could jump to the top with a good win. But Gremlin will get the first, Wally will get the second, and the shotguns and everything galore as it's gonna be a wipe. No, Rippy's left alive, trying to escape for his life. Goodbye, Sweet Moon. It's gonna be taken off the map. Ape Squad not too happy, but just very quickly like that, the Blowers also getting close because both of these points are mere 40 meters away.
Yeah, this is wild how close they are. Everybody is pushing in. The Scallywags have taken control. This cash out is running down. Both of them just under halfway left. But again, everybody is here. They are all able to go to any point that they want. Wolf with a nice little dome shield in hand pulls out the M60, and they're kind of just waiting around right now. They want to go for this steal, but they know that everybody is close. There is the C4 going off, drops it down. They didn't take any damage from that, so it's not really that great of a C4 explosion. They have an opportunity now. They're gooing it off. These little goo walls are so powerful, but there is another drop, but he's riding it. He is holding it. He's straddling on it, but sadly goes down in that fight. Wow, that was wild to see. I really thought he almost had that.
Brands again left alive for the 200 MS squad, but look at this, as Ethanol, he's been furious in these series. Finds 2, open things up, that confirms his sight, and jumping his way to second, the Blowers. Fantastic job.
Yeah, This is a wild group. I said it earlier, and I mean it because this has just been insane. It kind of really well showcased Vegas as well, because I felt like the teams were really just competitive on this, but the Scallywags came back. We've mentioned it earlier today, but they seem to be coming back. They seem to have found their footing. So this might be the start of, who knows, maybe 4 maps that they end up taking. But they took that first one pretty convincingly. And you know what? I also got to give them a shout out because they've got the uniforms in unison. They all look like a team, and you know, I love to see things like that. But on the other side of things, Ape Squad, I don't know. Maybe they just didn't like Vegas. Maybe they just had a tough time. Maybe this isn't their bracket. What are your thoughts? What did Ape Squad do wrong there, Hyper?
Honestly, like we didn't actually get a lot of screen time for Ape Squad, so I can't necessarily say what was going wrong with them. I can't sit here and critique them. I can tell you where 200ms made the mistake at the end, and that was simply just not enough util cover. They were playing above rather than playing below. They weren't clearing anything underneath, and that critically caused problems. Yes, okay, riding the vault, riding the cash out is a common strategy when they know that the base is going to be dematted, but if it gets exploded, then the riding doesn't always work. Other than that, all 3 teams, the Blowers, Scallywags, 200ms, really feel even, and it is minor mistakes that I would have to go through and re-watch to pick out what went wrong. Ape Squad, again, I would need more screen time to necessarily break it down. So I wish I could analyze more, but it's hard. This is a hard bracket.
Yeah, it is. I agree. And yeah, we just didn't see them a lot. Maybe just, I mean, they got kills, they got a little bit of cash. Who knows? Maybe somebody to watch in this next match. But that's the interesting thing about these groups is we get 4 maps for all of them. They get 4 opportunities. And like we saw in Group A, every team kind of shuffled. Like every time. It was just kind of a big old, you know, mixer at the end. So I don't know how this will churn out. And honestly, we've seen some really great performances from Ape Squad. So they are somebody that a lot of people are rooting for, and I think that they might have just had an off match, but we will see as we get loaded into the next map. They are already getting started, seeing some good dance moves. Like I said, that team in unison with the Scallywags, all of the coordination, very cool to see. But I'm really curious, can the Scallywags take another convincing win? We're gonna find out right now.
Here at Monaco, Embark's first ever map, their biggest love, and also a little fun fact about the map, it is designed to be a near to 1-to-1 replica of Monaco itself. And as that beautiful fun fact comes to an end, how about the end of a life as we see Ethanol gets taken down very quickly, and the Scallywags, they're out for blood to kick things off.
Yeah, they really are already wanting to get the combat started. One of their teammates goes down, Belize, and he's going to get rezzed back up. We do see a wipe on the other side of the board with 200 milliseconds going down. The Scallywags will now take the vault and get it over to, I believe, A is where they're headed, but I'm not entirely sure just yet. They are in control. They're going to move it. There is a nice little red canister going off, and yeah, they're going to move over to A and kind of the wooded area. Nice goo bridge down from his teammates. Ooh, and even following it up with the Cerberus to burn it down. Good teamwork, really well thought moving forward, but here is the Blowers as they start to push into the Scallywags. The Scallywags decide to bring the fight right back to them, though.
Yeah, why not get up close and personal, get the job done and dusted as Normalize is taken straight to the ground, and very quickly Scallywags looking to play indoors. A lot of shotguns on their side. Meanwhile, you see the Ethanol and Zukif quickly annihilated and wiped off the server. Onto the other side of the map, though, we are seeing 200ms and Ape Squad started to square each other up. We saw 200ms immediately get pushed off early on in the fight, and then doing so, it is 1 player down each from this fight as well. There it is, Bimo quickly getting taken away. And this could be an interesting battle as this is out in the open, this B-side.
Yeah, so we are watching Ape Squad, who we said didn't get a lot to watch, but we are now in the perspective of Hashish as he gets Bimo back up, and they have in control of this cash out. So this is a great spot for them to be in. There is that Cerberus trying to chase somebody down. He does get Groody with that burn effect. He's dipping and diving in and out of those barricades behind him. Really good movement, but sadly 200 milliseconds goes down in that fight, which means that Ape Squad is able to stay in control of this cash out. This is a good spot for them to be in because they were struggling so much last map. We're going to see if they can hold control.
Beautiful work and beautiful quick rotation. As you can quickly see, Scallywags had a contingency plan. They wanted to play in the buildings. They knew that that could be to their advantage, but very quickly they knew their sight out in the open. But the steal started to come in. Glitch Grenade will be successful, but a steal unsuccessful as the Scallywags will be able to pull it off. But alive, normalized. Can he find anything? No, he cannot. And you start to feel like it's about to happen. The Scallywags, Sir and Matey, Captain. It's my ship now.
Yeah, as we move over to B, as it is trying to be stolen, but they get a nice stop in there, and Ape Squad will take it. They do get wiped in that fight, but it's not going to matter because they got the cash, and really cash is king in this game. So good spot for them to be in as we watch these teams get set up for the next vaults. It looks like Vault 3 has spawned, and maybe the majority of them are actually kind of staying over there at Vault 3, but no, the blowers are near Vault 4 and they're able to get it tapped. Police just having a good time at the cathedral, trying to spot out some good views, maybe look for a rental home. Who knows? As we move over to D, are they just going to get set up over there? He's so far away from his team. I'm kind of confused.
I think we might as well get it set up. I'm more interested in the battle, the three-way battle that is happening on the other side of the map for Vault 4. Holy mackerel, that's getting going. As already the blowers has been wiped out as they got caught in the crossfire over by Grandma's house. And then in doing so, 200 MS started to push in, become that additional third party that has been the bane and the thorn in the rear end, whatever you want to describe it. But it's down to Grootty, left alive, and Ape Squad, they were down and lost before, but they are rising to the top.
Yes, they are indeed, and everybody is here. This cash out has gotten started. Nobody's over at C just yet, but we're seeing a lot of traversal, a lot of climbing going for this vault. C will get plugged in just a moment. There is a gateway, everybody grouping up around it. This is a good spot for the Ape Squad to be in, but they do get spotted out by 200 milliseconds. They didn't move fast enough. This is not what you want. There is a gateway in hand, and he's going to get his whole team over there, and they are going to get it started. So this is a good movement, some good positioning, and kind of good teamwork in all honesty. So now they're going on top of this roof to get set up. This will be a great vantage point, and they're also close to D, so they might make a move for it. There's a Goo going down. He's trying to spot anybody out, and there he is now, just barricading himself up. There is a bounce pad going down. Gooin, they're going for it. They want to get this steal. They want to be in control of two of them. There's the C4 going down. Rippy is doing a great job of blocking it. They're coming in all directions, but they got the steal. They're now in full control over both of them. If they can hold this, it'll be $24,000 for them.
Let's go. They would be huge, and I have no surprise. I thought they would go for it. The offset's huge. Why not go for it? It's over half the points. You can see full presence over here, but very quickly we're seeing rotations. All the three teams have gone, no, we don't want to fight this anymore. And in doing so, now the Ape Squad have to go, shoot, we have to move back. We have to go and defend our original site. But that's the one with the most amount of time left.
Yeah, this is a classic example of overstretching because they might be able to get one of these, but they've lost the opportunity for both. But, you know, at the end of the day, getting one is still a very good position to be in, but they're going to move over to Belize as he has an RPG in hand, going through that gateway, but doesn't have a ton of health. Looking at 93 HP as he moves closer to Cash Out C, but again, gets spotted out as his health was being revved back up, so he's going to have to throw down that dome shield. Normalize went down, so it's all on Wally and Belize. He's having to back up and maybe readjust and wait for the next fight. He needs his team back up there if they want to make a push on C.
I can very well see, you can just see on the map how 200 MS, they're playing very defensive, almost parking the bus onto the point. Meanwhile, the rest of the teams were fighting and squabbling amongst each other. Scallywag's going to go for one last push. Try and see if a cheeky steal can come in, but the glitch grenade coming at the perfect time, and 200 MS are starting to put it all through, but the glitch grenade was a fake. It was done so well, and 200 MS will come out on top. So now it's a battle of ego over in the forest.
Yeah, that was a great winch claw as well. They had already stopped it, but then he just guaranteed that they had no opportunity. And Grudy now bouncing around, gets his teammate back up, but he knows somebody's still close. There is gas going down as well, and everybody here is just fighting over this little bit. Gremlin goes down in that fight, and the Scallywags do end up getting wiped. We're gonna have to move over to the other side of the map, as it looks like Ape Squad is in control of Cash Out A. They have a commanding lead, and this is such a different performance from what we saw in that last map.
It really is, but then you got the counter side. Blowers not performing the way they were in the first map as well. So it almost is like the tables have been flipped. Normalized, already taken out of this fight. So a man down against a strong, ruthless Ape Squad as the Locksmith does find Ripple. Only temporarily. He can break out of that. It's not a child seat.
Yeah, I do love seeing the lockbolt views because it can just kind of stop the momentum from a team. Like you're having to readjust, find like you can't move, or you got to break it, and it does take quite a few shots, you know, in my opinion, to break that. So it's really cool to see it being utilized, and some people are even utilizing it in place of an RPG. But Cash Out A ticking down. I don't think anybody wants to take a fight on with Ape Squad, but immediately I have to eat my words because the Scallywags are here. They're ready for some vengeance. They're ready to eat good. Can they make something happen? Wally making his advance. There's Belize as well. Goo going down in every corner. There's a grenade that goes off. Gas is down on the point. It's gonna make it hard. Belize goes down to that gas. They are stuck in a corner, and it's like fish in a barrel. One gets deleted, the second one gets deleted, and there is the cleanup. Sad to see on the Scallywags. They go down in a not that good of a push.
A quick overtime put in onto the B side as well. This could cause a little bit of disruptions and still allow teams to jump up the board. As you can see, a quick switch over as a steal has come through from the Blowers, but they're down to one player of Ethanol. He is a strong heavy. Usually when he's frying, finally out of the donut range, he's got one on the board. But he still has the rest of the server ready to attack. 13 seconds left as one will have to push. Here comes the drop down. Ethanol still left alive to try and keep it alive, but it's not going to come through. All hell breaks loose. Scallywags onto the point, but no. Ape Squad wants to battle, wants to take it home. 1 second left.
Oh, oh my God. That was wild right at the end. You love these last second steals as they try and go for it. But there is Ape Squad, which has completely flipped the script. I love it. This is what I expect from Ape Squad. As we see, they're all running the ape masks. I hadn't noticed that before. Good job, guys. I'm happy for y'all. Y'all getting things going. And yeah, that was a very convincing win from them. Yeah, I'm amazed that we saw somebody go from last to first with 60K at the end. That's wild.
It is absolutely amazing the way that the map can get flipped, but more critically, the consistency. Look at that on your screen. 886. It is a consistent team that both know their roles and know how to play. Unlike you then look at the Scallywags, where Gremlin was leading, carrying the team heavy with a rucksack of all
Wow.
of them on their back. But it goes to show that some maps can be great, some maps can be absolutely terrible. And
Mhm.
Ape Squad, they took the risk, and when there was a lot of in this map in Monaco, there was a lot of offsets. So why not go for those pushes? They won their fights, but instead of panicking to go back, they realized, let's just put the defense onto the site we just took, allow the steal to come through, and then assess the situation. They assessed, they realized, no, all three teams were now pushing that original site. We're backing away. We're going to go and open up the next vault. Let's set up onto new and then have the fight there. So there was a lot of smart and forward-thinking plays here.
Yeah, and it's cool to see that there is a lot of strategy that's being utilized at the top level. It's not just combat, it's not just aim, it's not just kind of outdoing your opponent, it's about outplaying them. And I think that's what's really cool to see these teams go up against each other because they have different play styles. The finals is so wild where everything doesn't just fit into a little box. You have people that kind of change the meta. There isn't a defined like this is the only way to play the finals. This is the only way to play the finals at the top level. And I've even had conversations with people recently that like, okay, when they saw the finals competitively about a year ago, it was boring because the meta was boring. Everybody was just using shotguns and 2 mediums and just keeling, and it was just dumb. But now I've had people who's like, no, okay, if you feel that way, come and watch it now because the finals is wild. It's just diverse. It's cool. I don't know. I could sing its praises all I want, but I just love the kind of, the combat, the gameplay, the strategy, just everything that I love to see in top tier finals gameplay.
Well, it looks like were about to get in, but from the way I can see, 3 players have not been able to join. So we will have a lobby reset coming into play. But let's tell you what, while we have that little bit of time while we have time for all this to unfold, I want to really focus in on how well Scallywags have really developed.
Okay.
And how they have gone from zero to almost hero in these situations and their play style. Because the one thing I notice is they are playing a lot more third party or fourth party style of
Mm,
gameplay. They're not being the first aggressors, they're allowing everybody to get the job done for them.
okay. Yeah, I mean that is a play style. Kind of playing back. You let other teams make the mistakes, and then you capitalize on them as soon as you notice any mistake that's happened. So that is a strategy. I don't know if it'll work for them in the long run because people will get smart. People will realize that hey, this is what they're doing, and yeah, I don't know, but we have seen it work like in the last group because we saw them. I think that it was Team Dit as they just like were setting up for like swarms. They're setting up for like traps and then getting the cash out, and they would just walk right into the traps. So I think that is a style of gameplay. Is it what I would choose? No. Is it the most exciting? Maybe some last second steals, but I don't know. What are your thoughts? Let's go compound off of that.
Trap plays like okay, if you're gonna say from an entertainment perspective, of course there are gonna be
Yeah.
some things that are gonna be more interesting than others. There are gonna be
Mhm.
things that are gonna be very boring. But this isn't. We're not here to just entertain. We're here to demonstrate the best of the best. If Counter Strike was all about how to be flashy, we would be having AWP plays all the time. We would be having pit
Yeah.
deagles only. But the
Mhm.
reality is sometimes the most interesting plays are those trap plays, are the ones that
Yeah.
are considered boring. So realistically, playing a trap, setting up, and making sure that people walking into you really kind of one gives you a whole lot of ego boost, and two, it shows positioning, it shows dominance in those sites. So I'm not opposed to it, and I'm always a guy who loves the way that teams perform the strategy. I love
Yeah.
watching breakdowns. Whether I remember to do them when I play, that's a different story entirely.
Yeah, but I think that to go off of that, I think it's something to just kind of keep in your back pocket, something that you don't have to use every time. But hey, we're gonna see because we've already seen so much dynamic changes from the teams, their play styles, and it is cool because I've mentioned this before. Is like there hasn't been a league before. There hasn't been a league in the finals yet where teams can consistently play against each other's in such a wild matchup. So it's cool to see. It's cool to see the changes, and yeah. But production, are we loading into the map? Are we getting ready? More stalls? What's going on? We're
Loading
loading
in.
in now. Cool, cool, cool. So no more of a delay. You don't have to hear us yap for too much longer. But yeah, we're gonna get started. This is map number 3, right, for this group?
It is map number 3. You can see in just in the top corner, we're heading to Sis Horizon. I feel we go to Sis Horizon a lot, but the reason is everyone loves it and no one can complain about it. And if you're in the chat complaining, I'm watching. I have the chat open. I'm watching what you guys
Yeah,
are saying.
chat. What's your hot take on the Sis Horizon map? I want to hear it. Create some controversy. Chat, you guys have been way too quiet. I want to hear you root. I want to see some love for some of these teams. They deserve it because we're going to get some intense combat getting started right now. Great RPG goes off. He did get a couple people connected with that. He's immediately chasing them down. There is Rippy trying to find another victim. He does get Wally down in that, but there is that mesh shield going up. blocking a lot of damage. Sadly, can't make it across that bridge and goes down in it. There's one person left for Ape Squad as he tries to run away, and this is a great movement. He did. He jumped out and was able to get his teammate back up. This will be a great opportunity as he dies right on top of them again. Great kill from them, but he needs to get out of there as BMO is the last one alive. BMO and Heish are the last people alive on this team.
Yeah, and then doing so, Gremlin was also last alive. Finally, the team wipe will come through. Meanwhile, on to the other side, as we can see 200 MS just in the distance have been able to put in the cash out, put the vault into the cash out onto B. And a lot of teams, and I don't know if they would agree with me, do prefer this B side. It's just on the edge of the school or whatever you want to call this area by the bridges. But instead of being on the bridge, they've knocked it out into the open. But we're here, we're focusing on A. We're looking at Hashi, trying to stay alive with that Cerberus. I tell you what, Ape Squad performed well last time. They need another good round here.
Yep, I'm curious if they can make it happen, but he did get out of that combat. Sadly gets spotted out again. DMAT closes it off. Great opportunity to bring Rippy back, but BMO goes down in the process. He's going to have to regroup with his team. Everybody is here. Cash Out A is down about a fourth, maybe a little bit less than that, but it is still ticking down. They need to make something happen. BMO still down on Ape Squad. They were our commanding lead last time, but they don't look too good right now as they're having to just run away from a lot of the combat. They need to reset. They need to get their team back up. They need to make some changes right now.
Their big changes do need to come through as while this is all starting to brew up, it's just a stalemate. Meanwhile, onto A. Nothing too major. They're reviving, trying to get everybody back. They know that these two teams are strong and square. As in the feed, we can now start to see the feed in the background. I have to make comment to it because I'm physically watching this. But on the other side, the bridge attack is unfolding. Is Gremlin left alive for the Scallywags as they're trying to find a way to steal, but that steal's unsuccessful. Meanwhile, this steal might have some progression. Zukif, left alive, has to fight for his life, but he will finally be wiped. A definitive winner on both sides have come through.
Yeah, both team wipes went off within a second of each other. Looking at the scoreboard real quick, 200 milliseconds is doing some good damage, followed up by Ape Squad. You know, they're getting a lot of kills. A couple of people on the bottom half missing kills right now, but they do have assist and some damage points, so they are making something work. But Cash Out A is down to its last little sliver. I'm not sure if anybody wants to make a push on this. I don't think anybody is close, so this should be pretty uncontested, and maybe we should move over to Vault 3 because I think that's where everybody wants to make the push. There's Ethanol with the minigun. Is he able to find anybody? We're gonna find out as they get set up and make the push towards the next vault.
Yeah, it was a presence, and I can understand the blowers just wanted to scare the likes of Ape Squad while they finish up onto their side, but realistically, the cash out onto D, well, that's where the eyes are looking, and I love this cash out side. It's so open, and it almost feels like everyone's pushing, but in matter of fact, it's going to be a steal coming in from the blowers. They try and take it off their hands, but they're doing it with ease. As Scallywags, they've lost Gremlin, and in doing so, they've had to back away.
Yeah, that was a weird steal. They did have to back off of it. The blowers now in control of this cash out. They know that the Scallywags are close. They spot one of them out. Belize goes down in that fight. Can they spot the second one? I am not sure, but they do. They got two of them down. Wally is the last one alive on the Scallywags, and it's not looking good for them. But this is the blowers' opportunity to stay in control. They need to get this cash out. They need to get some money moving. They've only got 6K to their name, but there is Normalize as he spots somebody out. Nobody really wants to take this cash out, and we're going to move over to the other side of Cash Out C.
Yeah, let's look over to where people are actually fighting. As that's a smart little bridge. That works. That definitely gets them onto site as 200 MS are slowly making their way through as they're going to fight with the current number 2s. And that is of Ape Squad as they have control, but from above you could see the F-Car doing its damage, get able to pick things up as Grooty says thank you very much. Can't get the revive coming in because the glitch grenade happened perfectly. Now they are wiped off the floor, 200 MS. struggling this time round.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say struggling. They seem to be doing okay in the kill area, and they are in second by just 1,000, but they are not in control of this cash out right now. BMO doing his signature beams and getting some shots off on the Scallywags, but has to go away from this fight. It is not the spot that he wants to be in, as his cash out is being stolen. He does spot it out by a little bit. He's looking in that DMAT, but unable to see anybody in that little vantage point. Sad to see it, but his teammates have coined back in, and this will be a good opportunity for the Apes to come back and maybe get this cash out. They have just a little bit of time as they get, one of them goes down in the stairwell.
Blowers absolutely taking it out of the park, but right now there's only a final few seconds left on to this point. Scallywags have been able to sneak that control and take it over, but very quickly we can see how the Blowers have dropped it down, taking a quick point, trying to get the shields up immediately. 200 MS coming for the steal as well. They wanted to take it back because they had control before, but immediately it's going to be Scallywags to come in. The steal at the last second. Ripple was able to take them out, but Ape Squad were just a fraction too late.
Yeah, Rippy did a great job there, but unable to make it work. And 200 milliseconds do get the cash. This is quite wild because second and third are very close, but the Scallywags, who had a really good performance in the first map, seem to be really struggling with only 8,500. So they are the team that needs to make something work in these last 2 minutes. Maybe go for a double, maybe make things a little bit more competitive. But BMO and his team are going to set up over at Cash Out B. They're going to try and intercept as the Blowers move in here. They do get spotted out, and there is Normalized going down. They are now in control of this vault, and they want to get it going. A glitch grenade does go down, and there it is. Everybody is here. It is going in the way of the Scallywags. They have doubled it. They are now in control. This is exactly what I was just saying. They need to get this. This is a great spot for them to be in.
And they've closed it up. They want to make sure that the attack comes from south. They want to make sure that they have full control when people do want to fight. As we can see, more and more of the teams will fall. And finally, Ape will get wiped. Scallywags, they've lost Wally. They're trying to play time, allow for the Wally to come back into this game. He will. That's critical. To defend, you need every player alive.
Yeah, and they just need to buy time at this time. They just need to make sure that they stall as much as they can, and stall is what they're doing. They dropped it onto a bounce pad. It makes that cash out go all over the map, and they are staying alive. This is exactly what you want to see. The Scallywags is a very strong team, and I'm curious if they're able to hold control. All three of them still up. Cash out halfway done as they move in. Gremlin gets spotted out, sadly goes down right in that stairwell. His teammates are going to have to find him and get him back up. This is not what you want to be. You need that third person up, and you need that Gremlin player as well. Police alive, and there is Wally. He goes for it. He gets his team. They're going to get him back up as this cash out continues to tick down.
Last 40 seconds start to come through. The first of the steals will come in. It's from Ape Squad, and immediately Scallywags don't want anyone touching it as the shotguns start coming in play, but it's the third party from the Blowers that starts opening things up. 30 seconds and everything is on fire. Another steal was looking to come in from the Ape Squad as they've been doing the most amount of killing. Two teams have been wiped. Scallywags and the 200 MS. It's down to the Blowers and the likes of Ape Squad. Ape Squad going for the steal. 10 seconds to go, and it's going to be a rush, a mad dash from 200 MS, but there's no time. No time indeed. And once again, Ape Squad take the win.
Wow, good stuff, Ape Squad. That was great. Everybody was there at the end, just clashing, exploding. Everything was on fire, and they were able to clean the lobby and get the cash. Another successful win for Ape Squad. Gotta love to see it. Rippy, BMO, and Hashish. Good kills, or Hashi. Good kills, great performance, good play. I honestly, just wild to see. I love that the Scallywags were able to double it right at the end. I was really rooting for them. I was really hoping that this is their moment, that they were able to hold it. But as everybody knows in the finals, when you have a doubled cash out and you are in control of it from the start, it is very rare that you will control it at the end, unless you just have all of the moves. And they did. They had good kills. Look at that. Gremlin and Wally on 9 kills. Belize struggling a little bit, but he has 9 assists. So I don't know. I just, the Scallywags had such a, maybe that was just bad luck. What are your thoughts there, Hyper?
I honestly think Scallywags attacked, well, defended too early.
Ooh,
They
okay.
saw the steal come in. Their first thing and natural reaction is to go and defend. But this is the final phase. This is the final battle that starts to come in. I honestly, and the way we saw that unfold, and of course we could play this as, looking down as gods from above and tell you exactly what to do. But realistically, they should have delayed. They should have allowed it to get stolen, which is rare for anyone to say. Let it get stolen because the other teams were all in close proximity. They knew
Yes.
everyone would be at it. So as soon as the steal comes in, people are going to jump. People are going to do the work for you. So why did you sacrifice your team to go in, take the damage, and not have the opportunity to heal up? That was the mistake. If they had hesitated, waited like the way Ape Squad did, then they could sweep in and take it all home.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Ape Squad played it well with the timing. They were able to swoop in there as everybody was just dying. But hey, we're going to find out as we load into Bernal if the Ape Squad is able to go for a 3rd win of the day. It would be really, really important for them to do so because it would just give them so many more points and really help them climb up to the leaderboard, which honestly, after seeing all these teams, they seem really strong. So let's hope they can do it. Guys, chat, I want to see your thoughts. I want to see who you're rooting for. There's like 150 of you here. There has to be some people with some opinions. Get loud, get crazy, find your team, root for your favorite player. I want to see it, and let's get started on Bernal.
Off to the races, the fine gentlemen go. And the opening battles will be Ape Squad versus, sorry, my mistake, 200 MS versus Scallywags, and Ape Squad versus the Blowers. Of course, we're going to be watching Ape Squad going up against the Blowers as they try and fight over this one vault. So the locksmith doing its job and just holding Hashi in place.
Yeah, that lock bolt really does stuck if you were kind of stuck like that because he was down a floor and unable to get up there because of that lock bolt. But now we move over to Rippy as he is ripping through some of these people but unable to stay alive, and he does go down in that. So we have our first 2 team wipes of the map as the Blowers in 200 milliseconds take the next vault, and they're going to get them started. Gateway going off as they follow their team. They're going to go to A. I believe A is the Cathedral. I could be wrong, but it is a good spot for them to be in as these cash outs are getting started.
Correction, not the Cathedral just yet. We will have a Cathedral point for sure. Instead, we're going to the Auditorium, the open space where the moving platform in the middle rises up. And that always is a great site to fight on because you can't play vertically. You have to play horizontally, and that's the meaning of Brunel. Fight horizontally, laterally, however you want to do it.
Yep, it is a very interesting map, but we look at Grudy as he took a lot of damage with that F-car in hand, but is able to get his health back up. Wolf is down in this, and they are not in control of the cash out just yet, but they have a goo wall up. There is the steal going down. They're trying to break the goo, but I would have kept it up. Just give yourselves that little bit of protection, but maybe they have another master plan at hand. But we're going to move immediately over to the Scallywags as they try and wind up that minigun. They are able to get 1 kill, 2 kills, and stay in control of this cash out as 2 more team wipes happen within 20 seconds of each other.
Yeah, I can actually I understand why 200 MS wants to get rid of that wall. When you play in a game like this, you want sightlines. You want to be able to see the sight. Imagine you're playing Valorant. You don't plant in cover. You plant out in the open so then you can peek and take their head. And that's the exact same principle you want to play here. You want the sight to be open. So that's why 200 MS is destroying the goo.
Interesting. Gave me a little bit of PTSD there, saying that we are playing Valorant Oof, can't do that anymore. But there is cash out A as it gets dropped. The blowers are here trying to make their push. They spot one of their light players out, and it is a light versus light, but Gremlin able to bring them down. Steel going down, but it is all down to just Ethanol as he gets swarmed by the Scallywags, and the Pirates have secured their booty as nobody else is going to go after them, and they're going to make their way to B. I think that they even have time to make it there before it ends.
I don't think they'll have enough time. The offset is not strong enough, so instead they're just trying to centralize themselves. And perfect timing, they're right next to 3 as well. But while this is all going on, 200 MS successfully defend their site. They're going to get a good amount of cash, 8,000 in the bank. They weren't able to team wipe on their side, but it's still not a bad situation to be in.
Yeah, this is not a bad situation to be in at all, but here is 200 milliseconds. They immediately spot out somebody from the Scallywags. Cash out D has not been started just yet, but there is a gateway, and it's going to bring it over right to them. But I'm not sure if they're even aware that 200 milliseconds is here. They want to dive directly on it. We are seeing these setups a lot on Burnell. People want to get in there. Cash out, the vault was thrown, but it didn't go in by the Scallywags as they go down. One of them gets deleted, and it is all on Grudy as he has to regroup. He's now being spotted out by Ape Squad. Ape Squad is here to be the third team, and it's going to work in their favor as they're going to be in control. But no, I take it back because now Rippy is the last person alive. This is some wild back and forth there, Hyper.
It's 1v1, and that's why they're having to back away and go for the heals, because Gremlin was left alive, Rippy was left alive, and in doing so, both teams trying to heal up, trying to get members back onto site. Of course, a few a little bit further away, but Ape Squad will be able to get a 3 steal here. However, they're going to be uncontested. Matter of fact, Scallywags have backed away. They're not looking to fight this. They're actually looking to go C.
That's what I would do too.
200 MS, they've just spawned in, and they're closest to D.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting because not the teams I expected to be fighting for them, but now the Scallywags have made their decision. They want to go for C. This is a good position for them to be moving to, but we see the blowers are set up right on top of the roof cross, right across from them, and they are taking a hell of a lot of damage as they try and move over there. Ethanol goes down in that fight. Gremlin getting some good kills, but Belize and Wally are very low, but Normalize goes down. It is all onto Gremlin. Can he get his teammates back up? He's going to have to dive out of that window, but no, he just breaks it and decides to sit in there and get his teammate back up. There he does get spotted out, but the res does go off. Now he gets Zuki down in that fight as the Scallywags seem to be in control and might be able to get this steal.
They might be able to, but it's just wave after wave of attacking that the blowers are able to fend off, and they're doing a fantastic job with Zukip down on the floor. He's now back in play, so he will be low on health because it will be a defib coming in, but what Pepper is doing a fantastic job to take out Normalize. Now, you have to commit to the steal, but this will draw everybody's attention. D-Mac dropping it further down. That might have been enough. This crux caused a little bit of chaos. Zukif trying to go in. Has it happened? Have they got this steal? It's coming to the matter of seconds. That's the blowers. The game is tied.
Yeah, oh my god, talk about tied. Look at this. I couldn't have asked for anything better for map number 4. Look at that. The last place team with 19-5 and the first place team with 21-5, and also the second place team. So we're looking at a spread of just $2,000 difference. So it is wild. Everybody is moving over to, it looks like A. I see 3 teams over there, but there is somebody that has been spotted out over by Vault 5. Vault 5 will be brought to cash out A, which is in the Cathedral, I believe. So it's a good spot for them to bring it in, but they're going to have a lot of competition as they move over to that.
Yes, and remember, 500 every kill. So we're going to be seeing this leaderboard really change a lot. We've already seen that Ape Squad just took the lead over the blowers. But as the reses start to come back in, things can change. Now, this is the question. Do you double stack and cause the utmost chaos ever?
Yes.
Or do you play smart and split it where you still have a chance of winning? And 9 times out of 10, it will be a split that most teams will look to do. We're getting it in. It's going into A, and then a free pass for 200 MS. They're putting it into B. They're splitting it up, but Ape Squad's read it.
Yeah, I mean, I love it when we see doubles going down, and I think that that's what this fight is happening over there for right now, because nobody wants to get it doubled, but some of them do. So there is Grudy going through that gateway, but is jumping on the bounce pad now. One of his teammates is very low, Wolf, but can they chase and can they find their next victim? But there is Cash Out Beat has gotten started, so we have both Cash Outs going. Rippy down in that fight, and Grudy is going to go for the steal. Is anybody going to be able to stop him as they go and body block? But God, they go down. 200 milliseconds gets wiped in like one mag.
That's a critical 200 MS needs this steal. They need to be in this game. So 15 seconds not fighting is critical position, because remember, it's down to kills. Yes, 2 will be at the top, 2 will be below, but that is critical numbers as the battle over A inside the cathedral still flies its way through, as the kill feed is colorful as of right now, but all teams back to full health. But quickly, Basil is going to be taken down, and that will allow more chaos. Minute left, ladies and gentlemen, a minute in Group B. Everyone is alive, and it's still anyone's game.
It is anybody's game, but there's Ethanol dealing some hellfire down with that minigun. They're in a nice control of this cash out. They're not being contested, and the Scallywags have gone down on the other side of this map. Cash Out has maybe 30 seconds left on both of them. They are just ticking down as we watch Ethanol have a little fun on these zip lines. I think we should move over to the other Cash Out, because I don't think anybody's going to go for the blowers. They seem pretty uncontested, and actually Normalize and Zuki are over there as well. They just want to bring the fight to B. This is actually a great opportunity for them if they're able to go in there. There is that Cerberus in hand. He gets 1 kill, but his teammate goes down. Normalize getting 2 in that fight. He spots one of them out. They have to dive on this cash out if they want to hold both of them, but they're unable to, and there goes BMO down. So lots of kills, lots of combat. Cash Out went down, and there are our teams, the Blowers and Ape Squad, just $500 less. But wow, wild to see. Good job, Blowers. You beat the Ape Squad. You stomped them down just a little bit. Just a little. $500. 1 kill. 1 kill. Wild.
They nearly lost that. They nearly lost that. They overextended at the very end. Scallywags came able to take that last player out, but the cash out was committed and had gone through. So saved by the bell in the most literal sense. But to point out, the gap between first and second is 1 kill.
Oh my God.
1 kill, and they would have been tied. And then it comes down to when that the positioning and the game will sort itself out. But then, in terms of second, thankfully, Scallywags had pulled up a mass amount of killing in that final battle to keep themselves going. 200 MS got wiped early, but couldn't perform anything else off it. That was a battle, and I tell you, one of the best brackets I've ever commentated.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, it was a fun bracket. Like, this was a fun group, and the teams were just fighting it out. The Ape Squad seemed to be in control of that bracket. Like, if I look back retrospectively, map 1 didn't go in their favor, but map 2, 3, and almost map 4 went in their favor. So I don't know, guys. If you are anybody that's new to this, finding new teams to follow, I would definitely follow the Ape Squad, because they seem to be growing. They seem to be kind of maturing as we move through this kind of league. So just fun to see, and I know that there's a lot of people that are already rooting for them. But again, I just want to point out for you new viewers, there's a lot of fun teams, a lot of good stuff. But yeah, that was a super fun group, and yeah, I'm curious to see how it all kind of pans out in the point system.
Yeah, let's have a quick look at those points. As remember, this is provisional positioning, as we still have Group C to go, and as the points will still get added on, we can still see Bricked massively at the top. Scallywags, there's their points coming in, will still remain 9th. 200 MS won't be able to move up entirely. Blowers still in 4th, but that's whether they've added those points. If we add those points as now, they could be taking 3rd, but honestly, not too bad here.
Yeah,
Here we
and
go.
there is the update. And yeah, Ape Squad had some climbing, and the Blowers did as well. It's cool to see that they were kind of at the bottom of the bracket, and now that they've kind of climbed up a little bit. So that was Group B. And remember, all of this will be updated one more time as we go into Group C. But Group C will be coming up here just shortly as we take a 5-minute break. So watch some fun ads that are from the finals community, and we will be right back to get started with our final group of today.
This isn't just a game. This is TNT. Welcome to the jungle and welcome to Ape Squad's Thursday Night Throwdown.
Featuring the game's top talent, pick up games where chimps become champions.
Thursday nights 8 to 10 p.m. every week, only on Ape Squad. Catch us live on air on Twitch at twitch.tv/ApeSquadOrg.
In the world of sports, every second counts. Every move matters. That's where a Spooze comes in, the sports beverage designed for champions. With a Spooze, it's simple as pop, pour, perform. Packed with electrolytes and essential nutrients to keep you hydrated and energized, Spooze is your go-to drink for peak performance. Whether you're just carrying the vault or securing the winning cash out, Spooze is there to fuel your victory. Its unique formula is scientifically designed to boost your stamina and focus. Spooze, for those who dare to excel. Pop, pour, perform.
It's showtime!
The real world can be unfriendly, misleading, confusing. But your world doesn't have to be. Reality Shield will protect you, cutting out the noise, making the world perfect. We do not censor. We cultivate. Engimo.
That strange thought you just had, where did it come from? And was it even yours? Our new Series 2000 effectively suppresses third-party influence and eccentricity, outperforming our competitors within the standard deviation of conformity. With the Series 2000, your mind stays in control. Via, we as one.
The life giver, the sun, always on, the source of everything that is good. But can it be trusted? Holtau's Sun Insurance will have you covered if the unimaginable happens and the light goes out. Holtau, brighter than ever.
You know, June, every time I think I've seen it all, the finals proves me wrong. What a play!
That's one for the highlight reel, Scotty.
The next chapter in this epic saga is about to unfold. A storm of epic flashes is brewing this season of the finals!
The stars. Distant. Watching. When will they arrive? Will your family be disintegrated first or last? Will your family dog become their leader? With Holtau's alien invasion insurance, you don't have to worry. Alto, we got your back.
the vision in focus. Back then I never been so hopeless, but I kept living with the faith in process. So ill yet no diagnosis. Thank God I had to make that progress. It's all about mindset. Bells ring when I see that drifting. Been around and back to the point that I knew that it needed shifting. Cut off the man that would drag me down till I'm feeling lifted. Like ditch him, ditch him, ditch him. You will never see me switching.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we head into Group C. It is the final series that we have lined up against, but we've had pretty interesting groups. A little bit of upsets with Bricks not being the way they should be, able to get one in the bag, but 3 maps that were very, very questionable and dark horses rising up. Meanwhile, Group B, chaos control. But Group C, how about a 4th party cash box, After Hours, Hotel's Finest, and Oni Legends? How about that?
Yeah, this will be quite the lineup. I am curious to see because we have some interesting teams like Oni Legends, kind of the new guys on the block, but we've also got some that are a little more well known as 4th Party Cashbox, Alto's Finest, and After Hours, kind of all in the middle area. So they have a lot of opportunities to kind of climb up there. But we are getting started on Vegas, loading in now. There is everybody. See the team colors up top. If you guys are new here and don't have a favorite team, well, I'm sure that you have a favorite color. So follow along, root for your team, chat. This is the last group of today. If you've made it at any point today, give us some love, give us some shouts, and I want to see who you're rooting for as we get started on Vegas.
Well, let's tell you where the battle's going to kick it off. It's going to be Oni Legends versus 4th Party Cashbox versus Holotel's Finest versus After Hours. Yes, AHS is After Hours for those who are a bit like, but it's only 3 letters. Trust me on it. Trust me on it.
Yep, and there is Graduating, who is playing in place of Lycommit. He didn't make it today, so there is Graduating taking his spot and is getting some kills already. They spot somebody out, but nobody's really contesting them on top. There they get spotted out. There is the heavy on After Hours. Glitchernade goes down, brings down his dome shield, and sadly he gets chased down. Another one from After Hours gets dealt half damage, but he's able to get their heavy back up. So if anything, Halto's Finest is now out of position, as After Hours is going to regroup and go towards this next cash out.
I expect nothing less from Graduating. Every time I see that man, he is absolutely darting around and hunting somebody. So absolutely spectacular to see, but in doing so, he is out of position. He now has really put Hotel's Finest in an awkward place, and he will most likely have to coin. So yay and nay for them, as we can start to see. After Hours, well, they're hungry. They want to steal this cash out.
They're hungry indeed. They blow up the C4 on cash out A. Halto's Finest is in control of it. They're right below it, so this is a good spot for them to be in. They can drop it, and there is a DMAT that went off. Nice RPG, did connect on at least one of them as they chase it to find the next kill. Can they bring Brindy down? And they do. Mad, though, very low on his health, is having to put up his own mesh shield to block any incoming damage, but he's starting to move and make his way towards the cash out, and his teammate is going to go for it and steal it. Graduating very far away and not able to stop this. I don't even know what he's doing, but they are very far away from this cash out, and I think maybe Ian just decided to go for B.
Looks to be, yeah, they have decided that they are going to opt to B. They knew they were going to spawn out, so it makes sense. Yeah, rotate across, go to the 4th Party cash box site, have a crack at that. But in doing so, so was Oni Legends. Oni decided, you know what, we've lost the fight over at B. Well, let's move this over to A. So both teams switching it up because of where they spawn. So a re-aggression, we're going to stick with After Hours and their defense onto this site. The machine guns goes bop, but no one's there to retrieve any bullets.
Yep, Kip sadly not able to spot anybody out as he revs up that minigun. And are we going to see another steal go off on Cash Out A? After Hours is in control of this, and they go for the steal, and they're able to stop it. Good stop right there at the last second, as it looks like it's down to a 1v1. They try and spot each other out, but After Hours gets a res off, and they get the team wipe on the Oni Legends. I thought the Oni Legends had a chance to turn it around right there, but sadly they were unable to stay in the fight.
Last time round, we thought Oni Legends, it was a carry from Apo. It was a name that kept coming up time and time and time again. I hope they have learned from Wednesday. I hope, dear God, that they have been able to step up and not allow Apo to carry this entire game. However, we focus on fourth party Cashbox. They did have control previously, but Hotel's Finest, I tell you what, beautiful steal takes it away. They now lead this map.
Yeah, they are leading it with 16k, and it's kind of what I would expect from Halto's Finest. They are in a good spot, but we move over to Mad as he takes some damage. His mesh shield goes down from the glitch grenade. Everybody seems to be running these glitch grenades these days because of how powerful they can be to bring down that dome and mesh shield. Oh my god, great RPG goes off, gets Pure Strafes down, and Kip to bat as well. Great kills. There is still one person left on Oni's Legends, but he is not going after them, and they are able to get a res off on After Hours. After Hours takes the vault, and I think that they're going to make their way towards Cash Out D. This will be a great spot for them to be in, but they are still chasing these kills. They spot one out, and Apo goes down in that, and sadly the Oni Legends unable to find their footing just yet.
Round two, and a common theme we have with round two, it is both sites not overly far away, so we can start to see those rotations come in, quickly change minds. The attack's not working on one place. Nah, screw it. We're gonna go to the other. Right now, we are seeing, of course, Oni Legends spawning back in, but realistically, fourth party Cashbox, Serganal left alive as he is trying to find a way to not get wiped by Hotel's Finest.
Yeah, and we just saw a wipe go off as well by fourth party Cashbox. They had control of their cash out, but it does look like After Hours was able to come in there and maybe get them cleaned up just a little bit. I'm sorry, I take that back. Halto's Finest was able to come in there and clean them up, because now we are watching After Hours is here just cleaning it up on Oni's Legends. Lots of death, lots of destruction, 2 team wipes in a very quick fashion.
Done, dusted, good night, sweet moon, but it does allow After Hours and Hotel's Finest a little bit of breathing space. We're crossing that halfway mark with both Cash Out, no major offsets in terms of these 2 points. We're not going to see any team finish up and start pushing to the other. They're going to have to focus on the final phases, which is, in this case, do we put the vault in?
Yeah, and Cash Out D is ticking down. We saw them drop it, at least blow up the C4 that was on point. There is the RPG in hand, ready to blow it up, but now here is fourth party Cashbox. They've decided to make their push. They are inside the building. Is that dome shield, there's that mesh shield as well, as they're just trying to block any damage that they can. After Hours has now gone to a different vantage point, and they are up on top there, which gives them a nice view downwards, but everybody is here and it is clashing. But I say that, and After Hours is still maintaining control of this, and Brutal Logic goes down for fourth party Cashbox, so nobody's going to continue the fight over there. Move over to Lamp as he's building up that minigun, gets 1, gets 2, and they really are in a good spot there as well.
Fourth party Cashbox, this isn't normal like them. They're usually the upfront. They're usually getting a mass amount of kills, but it's just not working out for them as Hotel's Finest has been denying them time and time again. A very, very small overlap has allowed Hotel's Finest to start pushing onto C, trying to get the odd kill as they go against the current leaders.
Yeah, that was a wild kill, as After Hours seems to be in full dominating control of this map with just about a minute 30 left. So I'm curious if Uni and his team can continue to hold this dominance for the next minute and a half. There is the bounce pad. He's gonna go and get set up somewhere, find a nice little gargoyle spot, and look for the incoming players. But they are over at Vault 6. They haven't tapped it just yet. They spotted that Halto's Finest are across from them and will be making the push as they start to get over there. They're all set up now, waiting for this advance. There it goes. They deal a little bit of damage, but Uni with the M11, it doesn't have that great of damage from that distance, so it's kind of just, you know, chipping damage away from them, but there it is. There's the push. He throws a glitch grenade, and he's going off. He's trying to spot his next one out, but goes and finds himself just a little bit of time and gets lamped down, but he is looking for his next kill. He spots the other Halto's Finest member out. Graduating goes down. Only one person remaining here, and they want to chase him down. They want to get this kill, and they do. Halto's Finest gets wiped.
Nice, quick, and easy. And just to backtrack just very slightly, After Hours, they stole Hotel Finest's cash out. They played risky and aggressive and was able to hold 2. So they completed theirs, very quickly stole the other one. Just for that information. So, but nonetheless, moving on, we move over to already a halfway done cash out, and now the offset is truly wild. Halfway through onto fourth party cash out site, but the other one nowhere near B, and no surprise, After Hours saying we don't want this to go in.
Yeah, there they go. Strafes is getting some good kills with that Cerberus. He spotted somebody right on top of him and just deleted them. He's now going to get Kip back up, and this is where they want to be. It is not looking good for Oni Legends. They only have 5k to their name, but there is a steal that just went off by Halto's Finest. The next vault isn't even near it, and I don't think it'll get plugged, but it is somewhat close, so somebody might be able to throw it over and get it a little bit closer to A, but at the current time, it does seem like Halto's Finest is in control as everybody starts to swarm on here. Oni Legends building up that turret, bringing up that minigun, trying to find anybody there, but not really connecting their shots. They do get a kill, but this cash out is running down. 7 seconds, which means that we have passed the time that somebody could have dived on this, and Halto's Finest will take the cash and come in second place right under After Hours.
Smart move from After Hours. Again, risk paid off. They were able to take control, and then on top of that, quickly took control of one of the vaults. They worked out that the maths of 18,000 that would go in, that other teams can fight it, no matter even if second place had it. So they took that vault and put it completely to the opposite side of the map. I wouldn't even say it was close, realistically. It was a mile away.
Yeah, there was a moment there that it was a little close, and then I think that they swatted it away and just yeeted it out of existence. But real quick, look at the scoreboard, especially from After Hours. 8, 10, and 8. All of them just bringing the firepower, bringing the punches, and really didn't give anybody a moment to breathe. Because look at even the combat scores. They're just massive. Look at the bottom half and look at the top half. You can see that their top teams here are kind of there. I honestly want to make a prediction that these might be our top 2 teams in this entire bracket, but as we've seen through all the other groups today, things change, things get shuffled, and maybe we'll see Oni Legends find their footing and get some wins and get some cash.
Yeah, it can switch up so easily. We've had the bottom go to the top. Ape Squad in Group B started out absolutely terribly, and then what did they do? They took the next 3 with confidence. Yeah. So, yeah, we definitely can't rule them out. But I tell you what, I think you're going to like this one. We're going to Skyway Stadium next.
Ooh.
We're getting to the fun map with 3 different environments. Actually, no, 4 different environments.
Yeah, Skyway is a very unique map, and most of the people I talk to, it's one of their least favorite maps just because it is so isolated. It's kind of got these little islands that you mentioned, and we do see that combat is kind of like usually on the other side of the map from each other. We don't have a ton of cash out stations that spawn close to each other like we have on other maps, so it's just a unique play style. It does have its place in the finals, but it might be why, if you viewers kind of are watching, you haven't seen it a ton. I believe that we've seen it one other time today. Is that right? Or have we seen it more than that?
Yes, we've seen it once. Okay. That was Group A.
I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, not picked a lot, but I actually really like it. I think that it's cool, and it does make for some neat gameplay moments, but we're going to have to see how they deal with the punches coming at them. Can After Hours continue their dominating performance, and can Oni Legends find something to make something work? I am curious, but guys, let's root along. I saw some good copy pastas in the chat. Keep them going as Mad makes a nice little jump over there, following his team, trying to get some kills off with that essay, but goes down in that fight. Move over to Kip Kip, who has a great RPG off and gets a nice kill already. There is a glitch grenade from Uni. He does bring down that mesh shield and gets a nice kill as well onto Kip Kip. It is interesting how quickly these teams are just going back and forth.
Very, very quick, and this is more like how Oni Legends want to be playing. They've joined midway through the splits, and then in doing so, having to take over from a team right at the bottom. They want to show and step up this week to say we deserve to be in the split. We deserve to be in Pro League. And right now, when they perform well and perform like they have in the opening, I agree. They deserve to be in, but they have to be consistent.
Yeah, I believe that every team has earned their place here, even Oni Legends who are new. But that is not to say that they don't have some tough competition going against them. Pure Strafes with that Cerberus trying to deal some damage, but that goo grenade is also helping them as well. Puts a bounce pad down and jumps over to build the fight with his teammates, but goes down in that fight. Sadly, there are 2 kills going off, and Oni Legends gets wiped again. And really, After Hours is looking really solid again. Yeah. I feel like a broken record already.
Yeah, we might be doing this quite often, and wow. Nonetheless, moving on. The mana has, well, actually, surprisingly, I'm looking at the mana right now. That's looking intact. Meanwhile, over at the hospital, which is where this lovely battle between fourth party Cashbox and our lovely Hotel's finest are having a little tussle between each other, but the steal will be successful and go through because Hotel's finest are deciding, you know what? We're going to play a little game. We're going to jump in right after you've stolen it, and so you're not ready for the defense. The steal now going to come through, and the wipe. And it goes to show patience is virtue.
Yeah, Haltos Finest played that clean on their approach, on the kills, just really kind of what you want to see. It's why Haltos Finest is a top tier team, but we move to the other side of the map as Cash Out B is halfway done, slowly ticking its way down. We're watching Pure Strafes as he tries to find his teammate and get Apo back up. They do get him back up, and all of the team is here. Oni Legends has this opportunity to get some kills and finally get on the board, but they are struggling just a little bit. There is their Heavy taking a lot of damage, but everybody is here. Lasagna goes down in that fight. Kip Kip very, very low, but staying in there. Mad low as well, trying to get spotted out. This is a wild combat in the air. Spots out Uni, gets him down. There we go. Oni Legends gets the kills and gets the steal.
Brilliant work, and that's exactly what they needed in this situation. Now they just need to get that steal in. They've done it. Bob's your uncle. That's a great start from being at the bottom for the last 2 games, being in a position that really has not made them feel comfortable in the slightest. Meanwhile, Hotel's finest is graduating, demonstrating all types of movements.
Right?
Exactly. And I read in the chat somewhere, and I agree with this. NA do prefer dash, while EU prefers cloak.
Yeah, that was my observation, and I do think that I've seen just a few more players using Cloak on EU side, but Dash, I don't know, it's kind of gained a little bit of popularity. So, chat, what are your thoughts? Which is better? I want to know. Let us know your opinion, and we'll read it out in a little bit. But that's not going to matter, because Haltos Finest tries to go for the vault, but Brynny gets spotted out and just deleted. You don't want to be on a bounce pad when an entire team is there to catch you when you fall.
That was brutal, just watching the beams. What is this, man? Twitch, kill him. Oh my, I'm feeling dirty after these shots coming in. Man's got a chair and a half, indeed. But nonetheless, we're starting to see the fourth party Cashbox step up another notch. Again, another team that should be performing a lot better. Now coming alive. Look at the beaming off this man.
Yeah, Kelcam had some great shots there, but he couldn't get away and did get spotted out by Oni Legends. Oni Legends, who have the biggest change from the last map, seem to finally have something going on, but it might be at risk because it seems like everybody is here. Everybody is really close. Halto's Finest is here, and they just got some kills on fourth party Cashbox, bringing them down. They're now waiting as Oni Legends start their push. They move into it, and they are just trying to find anybody out. One person from Halto's Finest goes down. There's a second, and there's a third. Good cleanup. What are we seeing? What changed between Vegas and this? I'm blown away because this is not the team that we just saw playing.
It really isn't, but you know what? I ain't complaining. I am loving this step up. I am loving the upset that's coming in, but it's the aggression that we're seeing and the fact that Oni Legends are sticking together. All for one, one for all. That's the mindset they're playing, and it's perfect. It's working for them because they're not heavily relying on their captain Apo. They're not relying on him because even when he does do the damage, guess what? Kip and Straves is there to finish it off.
Yeah, and we're watching some good movement from Graduating as he was climbing through those windows, moving up and down. He does spot Pierce Strafes and gets him down in that fight, but he is very low, and he is the last person remaining on his team. They do not have control over this cash out, and Graduating going down would be a really bad timing for them, and the Halto's Finest do get wiped as Oni Legends stay on top. Well done as we move over to Cash Out C, as Cash Out C has maybe 10 seconds left on it. There's the bounce pad. It is just going up and down. Brutal Logic finding person after person with that M60, having to put up the mesh shield and just hold it, but it's not even going to matter because After Hours have taken control of this Cash Out.
Done, dusted, another good position to find themselves in, and even with After Hours getting kill after kill after kill, really bringing them up to 22 grand. It's still Oni Legends, and yeah, spam this Boney to get to support Oni. Put that in the chat if you are an Oni fan, because damn, I am genuinely so impressed by this squad right now.
Yeah, no kidding. This is wild. I love the change up. This is just such a different, I guess this is their map. This is where they need to play. They need to always root and vote for this map. But there is Cash Out B getting started by Halto's Finest. This is a good place for them to be in. And Cash Out, or Vault A, yeah, Cash Out A, just kind of a little bit a ways away from there. And I think After Hours might be in control of this vault. Don't even think anybody really wants to deal with Halto's Finest. The fighting is going to happen over at Vault 6 as they try and bring it in, maybe double it. We are running low-ish on time, so this is going to go one way or the other.
The thing is, if you are Oni Legends, you really want to make sure this is not a split, because they're all basically the two teams below you could drop you down to third. Meanwhile, fourth party, they won't be able to do it. They would be safe in that situation. So you've got to, one, deal, and two, deny. But it's getting closer. It's getting closer. It's been put in, and this is a horrible situation for Oni Legends. You have to steal a Cash Out now to win their first map.
Yeah, and honestly, that was some great movement we saw there from After Hours. They got over there, they got into it, and it's a good spot for them to be in. Kip trying to get his teammate back, but he does take some good damage from that fight. Moving up, trying to find himself just a little bit of time. Oh, I think he missed his jump. Kip, what's going on, bud? But he is going to get wiped, and maybe his last teammate will go down as well. I would go down for the wipe right now so that you have enough time to go back for this Cash Out, but he is just, Apo's just standing up there on that crane. This is a really interesting move. I think he's just waiting for his team to coin back in as we look at the Cash Out as After Hours is in full control. It seems like fourth party Cashbox is here and they're trying to make something happen. They need to do something now because this is running low on time.
It's really running out of time, and this is where the full focus is going to be onto A right now. It is confirmed. Halto's Finest will have this point. A drop down of the vault with the Cash Out as After Hours have possession of this. They could easily move themselves up. Brendy left alive for Halto's Finest, and they're going to try and look to steal yet another, confirm the situation for Surginal. is trying to get any shot, anything to come through on his side. Fourth party Cashbox would love to jump a few positions, but right now it still remains in possession of After Hours. But no, fourth party Cashbox is going to find a little bit of possession of the point, but still the shield, everything going away it is. But Oni Legends go for the steal, gets taken off. Oni Legends wiped off. They went from first, they're dropping to third, and the dream is taken away.
Oh. Okay, yeah, they did lose it right there at the end, and you're right. As soon as they got split, it just made it where it was so hard for them to get it, and yeah, just sad to see. But there is another win by After Hours, with all of them just getting some good kills, getting some great plays, and somehow able to come out on top. I know it's heartbreaking if you're watching Oni Legends and just seeing how close they came after like such a harsh performance in the first one. They really tried. They really kind of finding their footing, as I said. And I think that map 3 will be even better for them. They might just have some jitters. It might just be a weird Saturday for them. Who knows? But looking at all of the other loadouts and looking at After Hours, and more importantly, Halto's finest. Look at Graduating with 10 kills, Lamp with 9, and Brindy with just 3, but still wild, really good kills.
Yeah, Only Legends doing a fantastic job. Very consistent this time through their team, which was a problem they had on Wednesday, was the inconsistency, relying on Apo to carry them through. But this time round, so much better. After Hours, no surprise. When you have a guy like Lasagna on your squad who helps just keep things going, able to provide the damage, but also be your anchor. 1,374 points regarding his support. That goes to show a man that you can rely on in those situations. And again, they played their cards right. They didn't over aggress. They could have gone and fought over the hospital, but instead they thought, no, let's take the vault, let's put it in construction. 9 times out of 10, the other teams are going to go north and try and fight. Reality was, a lot of teams hesitated at the end, and that's why a lot of the losers, which were, of course, fourth party Cashbox and Only Legends, they missed out massively because they hesitated.
Yeah, hesitation can be detrimental in a game like this. It's wild how close everything can get with just the timings and just the last seconds, steals, attempts, everything that we see with a group like this. But that is map 2, so we will have 2 more coming up, and I'm curious to see if there will be any more shakeups coming down from this. And who do you think is kind of having the hardest time right now? Because I thought it was Only Legends, but they seem to kind of move out of that danger zone. So who do you think is struggling the most right now?
Fourth party Cashbox. All day, every day. They're the ones who are the weakest right now. They're the ones that really aren't having any luck. They're not winning their gunfights, and they're rushing. They're over-aggressing, and in doing so, it's killing them. Literally, it is killing them, and it's disappointing to see.
Disappointing to see, but we are moving into map number 3 on Bernal. This is their chance. This is the time for fourth party Cashbox to show us what they got, but we're going to move immediately to Uni as he spots one person out. He's got the great movement. He's got the great aim, and he gets 2 kills right off the bat. They're going to take control over this vault, and they're going to bring it to the cash out and get things started. Already a wipe on Oni Legends, so not the start you want to see.
Yeah, not the start for Only Legends as well. They're back to the old ways. Every little excitement is gonna disappear all so quickly. But Uni, I'm gonna try and put this over to B, but this is gonna be a clash as they realize so quickly. Oh shoot, there's one already here, and they're debating, do we double stack early? You should have done it, man. You should have done it.
Yeah, I embrace the chaos in a game like this, but who knows? They decided to throw it away, and it will make its move probably towards A, as it looks like fourth party Cashbox are going to take it and take their opportunity to make that vault go to somewhere a little bit less chaotic. But there is Graduating, trying to bring his teammate back up, move over to Apo, running the XP, getting shot at from behind, but is now looking for the person that was shooting at them, goes through that window and immediately spots them out. He does get Brindy down, and that's going to be a very impactful kill. He does go down down to 7 HP on that. Can he spot them out? He does spot Grouching, but why would you engage it like that? You had 7 HP in a stairwell, and sadly his team does go down and gets wiped in that fight.
7 HP in a dream, buddy. Like, you get headshots galore. I don't know what you're about. Nah, but most of these guys are either mouse and keyboard, and the ability to flick is unreal. So, yeah, that was a losing battle through and through, as we are going to see it after hours go and push in to Hotel's Finest, try and get that steal to come through. As also the minigun is also on their side. I love this minigun. It is so fun to listen.
Oh,
Just can we have a moment of silence for when the minigun? Observer, can we get the minigun on the screen quickly? That's all I want right now. And listen. Wait for it.
Oh,
Beautiful. Beautiful. That's what we need, ladies and
Yep. Well done, our cameraman and God himself, Burrita, on the cameras. Good stuff. That was amazing to see by Lamp as he spun up that minigun and just deleted 2 of those people, moving over to Kip, who is not running the minigun for whatever wrong reason, and he is now hopping around and gonna bring Pure Strafes back up. Cash Out A running down, Cash Out B just about to end, going the way of Halto's Finest, and Cash Out A is actually in control of 4th party Cashbox, but I might have spoke too soon because it looks like it's being stolen right out from underneath them by Oni Legends.
Oni Legends, brilliant work to go for the steal, but look who's rotating. Offset's a little too much. Hotel's Finest going for the last attack, going for a last minute opportunity. Might go for just kills and points on that side, but they are going to look to try and get that steal to come in. The steal coming through. Is it going to happen? No, it's not going to happen, and now there's not enough time. Oh, Oni Legends survived by the skin of their chinny chen chen.
Yep, and now it's going to see if they can continue it, if they can hold on for dear life and make some more cash happen. Top 2 teams have a good commanding lead with 19K and 13K, and then there's a big gap with almost 9,000 going down to 3rd, and even further in 4th by After Hours in 4th, which has been our dominating team. So maybe Bernal is just that unique one, but there is Sergil as he spots somebody out immediately, bringing down one Halto's Finest and maybe another. Can he spot out the last one? He did, and deleted. All of the Halto's Finest have gonna spend a few seconds thinking about what just happened.
Ace. Just ace the entire team. Do it yourself and take them out with just a shotgun. Done dusted, buddy. That's not gonna happen. But 4th party Cashbox, they have players. Surginal being a demonstration that he is brilliant at this game. Brutal Logic, brilliant at this game. And then we saw how Kellum was able to beam people individually. Those 3 are so good, but you pair them up together, and when they're trying to fight, I don't know where it's going.
Yeah, very interesting plays. We see them just kind of buying time, waiting for that right opportunity to just strike, but they aren't going for anything. It's just kind of just waiting. There is the red barrel in hand. This should buy them a nice little opening for when they need it.
How about drop in? Let's drop inside. Open a couple more things up. I'm still waiting for the explosion, but again, hesitation comes through. The barrel will do a good amount of splash damage, which should lighten the blow. Lasagna will fall down. How about an up-close Cerberus attack as Mad will fall to the ground? Surginal on 8 and 1 death. And the steal to top it off.
Yep, there is a steal and a very convincing one at that. That goo is a great defense and holding off anybody that wants to make a move on them. And this cash out seems pretty secure from their standpoint. They've got a little under a 4th left, but there is Sergil as he has to move. He has to get out of there and has to buy himself just a little bit of time. Those goo walls do great wonders at stopping everybody. And there he is again. He's just waiting, and he knows that this cash out is there. He is maybe just running that goo. It is a great way of stopping people. Halto's Finest is here wanting to get another kill if they can and stay on top because they're looking good right now.
They're looking comfortable. They're looking very, very comfortable, but the offset again is starting to come through, and I look over for a brief second at the amphitheater, and I'm seeing The cash out's on the move. A winch has happened and it is not in the center anymore, which is highly surprising. They don't want to use sightlines.
Yeah, but there is Appo setting up nice little position where he can see everything. They are in control of this cache. Nice dashes, able to get him on another rooftop and basically on top of the fourth party cache box. He hasn't spotted them out, so he doesn't know that they're all right here, but he is just about to be on top of them. Brings smoke through the gateway. I've actually never seen that, and breaks it as it comes through. I think that hides the gateway pretty well. Cool play that I've, again, never seen.
It's a great way, and especially if you use it on the exit as well, disorientate your opponent, because now Appo is creating just a little taps of damage, just reminding this point is not yours to take, but it's going to be great control from fourth party cash box as they go and try and push onto Oni Legends point. Oni Legends will fall to the floor. Remember, big offset, so teams looking to fight onto this point. Now, After Hours going for that steal as the damage and brutally low fourth party cash box can't do anything to disrupt for now, but in doing so, they decide no. We're not going to fight this. We're going to go to Halter's Finest, beat D's site.
Yeah, and there we have it. After Hours is finally on the board. They move into third and really not that far away from fourth still. But Halto's Finest in good control of Cash Out B. It's halfway done, but we see Oni Legends as they start to make their push. On top of that, I think we are even seeing After Hours start to make their push on this Cash Out. So we might see 3 or even 4 teams as they all clash on top of this point. There is the Cash Out. There is Oni Legends. They're trying to spot anybody out. Pure Strafe running that Cerberus, good for running into somebody and just popping them off. There is Halto's Finest, gets spotted out. Dome shields go down from both teams. Pure Strafe going on that bounce pad, trying to follow and gets right behind them. Oh, Lamp goes down in that fight. He's looking for the next one, but this cash out is starting to run down. They need to make something move if they want to get it going.
Yeah, B's been dropped straight to the floor, but now this is going to allow all the teams to start pushing directly onto the point. As Oni Legends are going to be the ones try and go for the original steal, but they're going to have 2 of their players take it away. Now it comes the next steal. It's going to be with After Hours as they try and take it away. But quickly, Halter's Finest able to get the defense to come through. Fourth party cash box are there, prepped, ready for After Hours again. Coming in, but it's Halter's Finest again. Time and time again. No, how to defend.
Wow,
You can
and that
never,
gas.
ever rule out Hotel's Finest.
Yeah, Halto's Finest living up to their name. Well done. Good performance, especially at that last second by throwing that gas on there. That just stopped any steal potential. And yeah, just a really big, heavy hitters in this match. I'm curious to see the scoreboards, but we already see the Lamp running that minigun with 9 kills. I love, we took a second to, kind of talk about the minigun because it was cool, but I love that people are making this work. It's just fun. It's wild. And yeah, we saw Lamp just pop off with those 2 kills.
Oh, it is absolutely brilliant seeing those 2 kills come in with the minigun, but then below him graduating with 10. So you're looking at 25 points alone, plus the 100 that they're getting, 125 just in one map. That is a huge jump in positioning, massively going to push them up, but Only Legends down dead last, not working out for them. Meanwhile, fourth party cash box, ayo, that's a lot better. However,
Yeah.
and this is the however.
Hmm.
Surgeonal, for the last 6 minutes, did not get a single kill.
Ooh, that's
He
wild.
got his first 9 in the first 4-5 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Interesting to see. My frozen, but there we go. Camera unfroze. Yeah. It's wild. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes people just have better performances, and sometimes, you just gotta kind of stay away from the combat. Maybe that's what he was trying to do. I'm not sure, but I'm sure that he'll maybe go back and watch the VOD and see kind of what he can learn from that. Because yeah, going that long without a kill can be really detrimental to your team. But Halto's Finest came out. They gave us a good performance. They got some good kills at the end, and you know what? Took it very convincingly. We have one more map, and you know what, Hyper? Based off of what we've seen, who do you think is kind of the dominating team in this group?
Ooh, good question. I think realistically, After Hours has been within the talks a lot of time. They have been
Okay.
able to put themselves quite high up. But again, Hotel's Finest have been in the same position. So realistically, it's out of those two. And then only Legends and Fourth Party Cashbox are fighting amongst each other at the bottom. So that's how I view it in this situation. It's between
Yeah.
Hotel's Finest and After Hours.
All right, everybody, this is the last map of today. It'll be happening on Sis Horizon. We have some really heavy-hitting teams with After Hours, Halto's Finest, and the underdog of underdogs, Oni Legends. Also along there, we have Fourth Party Cashbox. This is going to be a wild match, and I hope you guys are ready for some last-minute finals gameplay, because it is getting started, and you see these teams are already ready for blood.
Oh, they are frying for blood as the kill feed is just lighting up. We're already seeing Oni Legends getting wiped out early on. All the rest of the teams somehow stayed alive. It's crazy how quickly that just all unfolded, and very quickly, a lovely open B site. I love this B site. This is so good. And then the A also indoors, both like, oh, I love this map's just perfect to me.
Yeah, it is a great map indeed, but we see now Surginal just trying to pop out and stay alive in this fight. The cash out has gotten started, and After Hours is spread out, so this is the opportunity to spot somebody out, but Uni finds him and just deletes him. Gotta love it, as now After Hours has kind of grouped up off to the side of the map. This is going to be good as Oni Legends starts to make their push in here. They are going to have to hold them off, while a couple of them are pretty low, so this is not ideal, but for Oni Legends, this is a great spot to be in. Apo maybe having a little bit of lag, sad to see it, but hopefully he can recover from that. Not sure what's going on there, but he does take some good damage from, I think, an RPG, and yeah, I think he's having a little bit of lag. I'm sorry to see it, but maybe it'll loosen up or kind of smooth out for him. There is a steal that just went off on Oni Legends, so maybe they can hold this.
It's going to be very hard as three of the players are still here, as we are seeing Mad go for the little tap, try and draw some players to start coming in. And this still, well, pros don't fake is the term we like to use, and no faking here, get the job done, but Oni Legends are going to get completely wiped, and this then gives a lot of time and possession and potentially the cash out to After Hours. Meanwhile, on the other side, well, it was a beautiful fight unfolding, but Hotel's Finest getting it done. The top two that we were talking about only split by one kill.
Oof. Wild to see, and yeah, this is going to be really good for Halto's Finest, because this cash out, it's so open, it's so out there that nobody really wants to push it, but Oni Legends might be making their advance right now to it, but I would just go for A. B, again, it's just open in this courtyard area, and I think that they know that as well, because nobody's really made the push, and we're looking at just it run down for the last 10 seconds. I take it all back, because here's Oni Legends. They're playing the clock. They're trying to go for it. They thought everybody was off of it. There's the mesh shield. They're trying to block it. They aren't able to stick it in. Sadly, they're not able to get the steal, and it looks like they're about to get wiped as well.
Yeah, unfortunate. Right idea, though. Drop that smoke and look how hard it was for Hotel's Finest to get it done. They actually struggled and panicked in that situation, as Callum will say, thank you very much, dear sir. Let me get that kill and let me bring my teammate back of Surginal. We need him. He got a good shotgun, buddy.
Yeah, he does have a good shotgun indeed, but we're watching Kelcom as he moves towards Vault 4. This is going to be a pretty isolated spot, as I don't see anybody close to him just yet, but maybe this is their time for Fourth Party Cashbox to get something moving. Gateway in hand. They're going to bring it over to D, I believe, and there it is. Yeah, there's the gateway. He's going to throw it down, waiting for his team, making a different change. I think his team called him back. This is what a good communication is. They know that Oni Legends is here. They don't want to have them all isolated out and out of position, so this is a really good spot for them to be in. He is right below them. He hears people all around him, but he is not engaging. He's letting them do the work and let them call themselves out. He now goes invis and starts to make the push. He is right behind them. This is a great spot for him to be in, but sadly he gets caught out and goes down in that fight.
Yeah, leaving himself exposed, and in doing so, Fourth party cash box down to 1 player left, and even when Kip is down to 3 health, he's still playing down the ball, putting the damage in, but critically, Hotel's Finest got wiped, and Uni also left alive, so all the top teams really struggling here.
Yeah, it's weird. But After Hours still doing good. They have control of this cash out, and I don't even think anybody wants to fight them. Looks like the combat will happen more over towards D, because that is where they want to be at. But we move over to Apo as he tries to spot somebody out, getting a decent shots off, but sadly has to make a retreat because he's now getting chased down to 30 HP, dashing away, probably going to be able to make it out of there. Good movement. Now looping back around potentially, but sadly still getting chased. This is not the position you want to be. This is a cat and mouse game. Can he stop his aggressor? This is wild.
It's absolutely nuts to see, but I tell you what, it still works as Apo. Currently 3 kills to his name, 3 deaths, and going quite even. Hasn't been carrying, hasn't been leading the same way he has been before, but I tell you what, that's a good position. It's a good feeling to have. Surgeonal down to low health above him, and that's something that they might want to try and factor in. Of course, they can't see the health. We can, we're very fortunate about it, but they're waiting patiently for another drop to come through.
Yeah, and Oni Legends are in control of this right now, but it's down to just pure strafes as he's really low and he gets a kill with that Cerberus, but sadly his team goes down. It's going to be a hard fight. Don't think they're going to have time by the time they respawn to even go back for this kill or for this steal. So these cash outs are looking pretty secure as the steal is going off on C. Can they get it? Is this where After Hours is able to get the steal at the last second? I don't know what happened in that fight, but they timed it perfectly and sends them way to the top.
A great fight. I was half watching what was happening. We could just saw the way that After Hours, they took control, they fought within the buildings, made sure they had whistled them down to 1 player, and then just at the last second, they went for the steal. But the attack from, I believe that was Hotel's Finest, just wasn't at the right place, right time, and in doing so, they were able to win that battle.
Yeah, and so the cash out will now go the way of fourth party cash box as they move into 3rd place. And sadly, that brings Oni Legends down to 4th. There's a lockbolt that just went off and got 2 or 3 of them on Halto's Finest. Really crazy to see. I'm sorry, hit 2 or 3 of them on fourth party cash box. They now go for the vault. The vault has been tapped by Halto's Finest. They are just kind of hiding and getting good cover. It does look like Brutal Logic goes down in that fight. Lamp with the minigun spinning it up gets a kill on Brutal. There is only 1 person left, but there it is. Graduating goes down as well, and I'm unsure of where this is gonna go because Lamp spinning up that minigun, now having to retreat as Pure Strafes came in there and just cleaned up some crazy kills.
It looks like they're going to put it in B. They want to secure at least a 2nd place here. They've had good performance, they've had good timing, so why not put it to B? And now, also critically, there is a little bit of an offset. Not enough that we're going to see After Hours push off their points and go and attack B. No, they're not going to do that. They know all too well that just spawning in right now is Hotel's Finest just on the edge. So 2 teams fighting each other. Hotel's Finest are going to go for the site to guarantee first. Meanwhile, on B is the 2 teams trying to jump to 2nd place.
Yep, this is Oni Legends' opportunity to come into 2nd. They need to make something happen, but this is not a good spot to be in. A stairwell is deadly to be stuck in, and they needed to get out of there, and that's exactly what they did. There's Apo coming back with his health, but there is a nice little defib going off, and he just gets chased and deleted. Brutal Logic now being chased down as well. He is getting damage off with that SA shotgun, and he gets deleted too. 1 person left, and yeah, there's not much time left, and Sergil goes down. That is the wipe from 4th party cash box, as Oni Legends is still in control of this vault, or this cash out.
Yeah, After Hours are critically going to have to try and keep Hotel's Finest off. That's a big, big ask. as already they're down to half health, and here comes the lock bolt as it holds them in place, and now you can see the pressure really mounting up as the quick revives have been favorable. Lasagna falls to the floor, Lamp also gone as well, but it's really mounting the pressure as Mad now goes down. Uni left alive, he has to do something big, has to play disruption. He jumps in and disrupts! He takes it away! Now, Yo is down to Oni. Can they hold for one last opportunity to jump to second? That still starts to go in. It's out in the open. Oni Legends takes second.
Wow, they actually did it. They came back at the last few seconds, able to hold it, and there we go. Oni Legends, we knew you had it in ya. Good job, guys. But that doesn't detract from After Hours as they take another win, and Uni just popping off like Uni does. He's truly a wild player, and guys, he has a great stream too. So check it out, because these are just some amazing players. I'm always in awe after we see matches like that. This was a really tough group for a team like Oni Legends, and you know they played well. It's kind of interesting to see that Halto's Finest fell to third place in there. Maybe that kind of leans on Lamp with only getting 3 kills, but at the same time, he got 10 assists. So he wasn't really lacking that much. And I think it just came down to just bad luck, unfortunately.
Yeah, a lot of it is a bit of a luck game, trying to get the right place, right time, and doing it that way. But realistically, I'm very, very impressed with Oni Legends. And realistically, you know,
Mm.
when you look at Altar's Finest, they spawned closest to After Hours. Naturally, you attack the site that is closest to you, but strategically speaking, there's a big risk. If you had gone and attacked another team, you would have guaranteed that second place, kept that security, but instead they went for the big dog. They wanted that win. Of no surprise, all of them want the win, and the risk did not become the reward. So yeah, it's a very interesting position, but tis what it is.
It is what it is, and that is going to wrap up our matches for today. As we get the final scoreboards tallied, we are going to have you guys enter into the chat. Let's say, I don't know, what's a good word, Hyper, that everybody can enter to enter this drawing for 1,000 multi-bucks?
I'll tell you what, I think the word, just because it came up briefly, is phase.
Phase?
And phase, yeah, phase. Because a lot of them were phased by the upbringing that we had today. There's 2 reasons behind that one, but we're gonna have phase, and that's FAZE, like the clan. If this doesn't bring them into the game, then God knows what will. We're gonna have that as the word. Put it in chat. Spam it. Spam it. Oh, I just thought of a better word we could have done, but too late now.
Too
We're
late.
midway through. Um,
Okay, so phase it is. Enter that into the chat, and we will be picking a winner. Thank you guys for sticking around watching the finals today. Hope you guys enjoyed the matches because honestly, every group was exciting. I think that group B was probably the most exciting, but overall, every match, every group just really brought a lot of firepower, and I was excited for every match. So really a fun day, and yeah, I can't sing the praises high enough for everything that we saw. But there is the scoreboard. Everything is updated, and you want to bring us through this, Hyper?
Yeah, we can see the gap closing down. Bricked Bags Day has dropped that gap between 500 down to 400. After Hours didn't have the best performance themselves, so that closes in. Halter's Finest still remains into third. Deer climbs up the board to fourth. Ape Squad remains fifth, Blowers in sixth, Fourth Party Cashbox in seventh, Dark Horses in eighth, Scallywags slowly making their comeback and making their way up. And then finally, Make-A-Wish Foundation in 10th, 200 MS in 11th, and Oni Legends still having to claw back from a disadvantaged position, but, you know, that takes time to come back.
Yeah, that is true. It is interesting to see how this is all panned out. There are the standings for today. Bricked still on top, After Hours just below them, Halto's Finest in third. And yeah, this has just been a wonderful matchup today. But we did draw our winner, and it is Simp, Lisss. So congratulations, you have won our multi-buck giveaway. Burrito will be reaching out in the chat for you. So look for a message from him and you will win your prize. So congratulations. And again, thank you guys for tuning in. Today was wild. If you missed any of the matches, go back and watch the VOD. It'll be up shortly after this. And I don't know, Hyper, do you have any final thoughts before we sign off for these wild matches today?
I think one final thought is a big shout out to the production, to the league, and to everybody involved, including our sponsors who came and brought us one amazing jackpot of $1,850. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Crash, you're amazing. Broxton, you're amazing. You are all amazing. And that is all for today. Thank you all for watching the NA Split 2 that we're at. We're getting closer. 2 more days. 2 more days till we get to the finals. I kind of don't want the 4v14 battles to end, but it has to. Thank you all for watching, and good night.
Have a good one.
Boy trying to get a feature, now I get paid for the rhythm, it's leisure. Used to be so low, reminisce way back when I was alone. Got pain from my mind just a decade ago. This way that I rode was out of control. Can't tell a boy stick to the code if he got guilt living inside of his soul. Man, I have to pray to God to let it all go. We've been here before, if you know